For the record, hello everybody. Hello. Welcome to my so-called life. I hope everyone's doing well. I own every Apple product that I've ever purchased from my iPhone 4 on. I've owned a few phones and my work phone. One of these in here is a work phone. Hello. I hope everyone's doing well. It is pouring here in Southern California. I have my boat ready. Awesome. Let me switch my camera. I was a bit under the weather the other day. I'm feeling a little bit better. Bleh, not 100%. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to my so-called life. My name is William, and let's sew something. It is raining out of control here. And you know what the funny thing is? The storm politely waited for me to leave the house. And then it just decided to go full torrential downpour. Oh, man. Yay. There I am. Awesome. I have quite a few projects I'm going to be doing this evening. I'm going to be finishing a code, all kinds of stuff. But the Mad Hatter is back. I have a ton of felt. I'm rusty. So I have to get back into the groove of making hats. So I'm gonna attempt to make a few this evening, because once you get the base down of making a hat, it's fairly easy. Well, relatively speaking. Like I said, it is pouring rain here, so we're gonna be hanging out tonight. Yay! Hi, Pam. Hello. You know what? I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm not gonna let it stop me. I was sitting there. I did have the flu 2 days ago, and I was just restless sitting at my house. So I made a coat, I finished a shirt, and I started a hat. Thank you, Pam. Hello. Great to see you. Awesome. It's kind of funny that Southern California, we're getting weather. We're getting pounded with the rain right now. But I drive multiple vehicles that are made for the rain, so I was just driving slow and like this. Oh, and today I saw what I think was a high-speed chase in my outskirts semi. Well, it's not Podunk. I do live in LA County, so I do live in a city. But it's weird because you really don't see things like that. And I think I did. Somebody went the wrong way on the side of the road, and about 30 seconds later, a cop was going down the same way. It was so surreal, Yay! Hello, Joy. Hello. Great to see you. Awesome. And yes, even in the rain, I see people driving with their headlights off. I hope everyone's doing well. Awesome. Great to see you. I've been sick for a couple of days, but almost recovered. That's why I didn't watch your live Monday, but I watched the replay. Thank you so much. I'm feeling a little bit better. I was feeling better, and then I went to my son's MMA class, and a storm hit. My nose clogged up. I started coughing for no reason. The weather is just not necessarily kind right now, and I think I'm going to be living in my my snowboard gear. Everybody called me overprepared with my snowboard clothes until Isaiah and I showed up wearing snowboard clothes, and they're like, "Wow, you're prepared." I will. I've been trying to rest, but I'm a restless human. And the other night when I had flu-like symptoms, my spine was hurting. So when I would lay down, I would just roll around. So I got up and started sewing in my delirious nature. Awesome. So I want to show this really quickly because I got it going. I am so excited. I turned this machine from something that was a $10 clacker. I have not said that in so long. This thing was screaming. It was so loud. And now it's working. I've learned I have polyester thread in there. I might put a more of a thin thread in there, but this machine is 100%. I spent like 2 days out of the sewing room. Finally made it back in for a couple hours, then had to take a break. That's part of my problem too, Pam. Is like I'm restless, so I'll come in here and then I realize how sick and tired I am. Then I go back outside. Yeah. But I got a lot done in my restlessness. I totally know how that is, Pam. There's definitely something going around. The storm rocked us hard up here Sunday night. It hit like it's been raining for the past 2 or 3 days. It was beautiful today. It was picturesque. And then when I left to take my son to his MMA class, it started pouring. And it has not stopped. I mean, it's intense too. So, Skits, the rain that's hitting me right now is headed towards your house. It'll be there tomorrow. Oh man. Yeah, it's pouring right now. Let me find a test strip. I have my glasses on like they're gonna help me. Yay! California's experienced real weather, treat it like a hurricane, film at 11. Oh, so true. That is nothing but truth. Hello, Gilroy. Hello, hello. Do you know what's so funny? I was gonna bring the eagle back. Oh, my computer is slow. This might be a laggy evening. I can tell with the internet and everything. I'm still contemplating on bringing the eagle back. So was like spraying here today. Oh, that's so funny. Yay! Hello, hello. Yay! Hello, hello. Great to see you. It is pouring right now. I can hear it because here in my so-called life, I'm in the least insulated room in the house, and so it is pounding right now. Hello to you. Yay! Hello, hello. But like Gilroy said, we're experiencing real weather and we're freaking out. Do you know, I said that yesterday. I was like, and I said that again today. People like in Oregon, they live in the rain. Um, where I live, the world shuts down when it rains. the school, the school sent an email. They were like, "We're still open. It's rain." It made me laugh so hard. The school was like, "Oh no, we're open. We're open during business hours. Send your children." Oh, they sent the email out like, "We know it's raining. Do not send your children." Oh, that made me laugh when I saw that email. Oh, yay. Hello, hello. Come join the insanity. I have quite a few things I want to show off this evening. And I'll talk about it later. If London shut down when it rains, they would have never made it off the shores of England. It's one of the reasons they left. Is this the place for coughing and so yes, it is. You should come and join. The water is fine and plenty. I knew I should have kept that pontoon boat just for this. Oh, good times. Good times. This is definitely the place for coffee. And this is actually hot and fresh because I brewed this right before the class because I knew it was going to be a mess today. No, this is Action News 8. Yay. Yay. Awesome. 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 All right. So I'm going to check out this sewing machine really quick. Well, I don't know why I'm going on that screen. Do you know I've been doing this for a while now and I still click the wrong button? All right. There we go. Okay. So last time we left off, this thing was a clacky, just screamy machine. It needed a lot of help. So I soaked it overnight. I read it a bedtime story, and now it's a functioning sewing machine that do not have plugged in. Oh, if that's not a metaphor for this evening. Okay. Once I get this plugged in. But this thing definitely needed a little bit of help, and it makes me laugh because something like this I could resell it for almost full price. When I go to sewing stores, they sell refurbished sewing machines like this, and they start at $100. I'm not saying I would ever ask $100 for something like this, but it's crazy how just because this thing had a knock and a clack that someone couldn't figure out, they sent it to the Goodwill. I bought it for $10, and now it is clack free. Oh, but it's not problem free. Let's figure it out. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let me switch my camera. Doing it live. We're doing it live. Oh, that's definitely blooper. See, we finally got a blooper live. We finally got a blooper live. See, now I'm determined. Now I'm like going to take the bobbin case off and figure out what's wrong with this sewing machine. Truly a blooper. See, but that's the beauty of doing something live, is just the art of failure. That's why it's what you get for boasting. So true. Do you know, it's so true. I could hear when I was younger, I had a good friend tell me, we were always play basketball, and I would get in people's head. I was all cerebral, and he'd always tell me, "Don't talk trash until you score, man." So let's try that again. Oh, now that's hilarious. Let me try of course I went straight to denim. Let me try a more accessible material, something that's less abrasive. Oh. And then he reaches for canvas. All right. So I'm just going to cut a test piece off of here. Oh, that's the beauty of doing things live. All right. So let's try that again. Here in the House of Sewing, we're all about second chances, redeeming this sewing machine, the moment of truth, like I always say. All right, man. Is it you? Is it me? Is it the material? Oh, and it threw down a perfect stitch the second time. It's nice and quiet now. I have to figure out what that initial bonk was, but it works. Let's do it one more time because that was extremely anticlimactic. I'm stoked that I got this. With all seriousness, I'm really stoked I got this machine going though. I'm getting better at fixing modern sewing machines, which I don't know is a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, that's perfect. And it can take my upholstery thread. I have a much thicker thread in here right now, so my baby lock can take it, but not too many machines can take the thread because it's meant for like a Juki. But I'm going to call that a victory. I'm definitely going to call that a victory because it works. And I don't know if I'm going to make the hat first or if I'm going to finish my jacket first. I haven't decided because I really want to get back to making hats. For anyone who wasn't here during the saga that was the Mad Hatter, I went insane making hats. I made so many hats that I went looking for styles. Oh, it's on backwards. This one's on exactly. I went a little hat insane. So I'm gonna I was looking for red felt because I was looking for something loud, but I ended up finding blue. I'm eventually gonna go back and buy red felt, but I think this weekend my mission is to go get that black stretchy weird material from Modelo Man. But we'll see what happens. Awesome. That is a total ta-da. It's kind of anticlimactic after I had that total bonk live. That will live in the bloopers. I should make a short out of that bonking live on YouTube. All right. So I have everything ready for the hat. So, excuse me. I've gone a little Santee alley crazy. I don't know if you can see it behind me. Let me see if I can switch my angles. I made a black sweater. And instead of adding a traditional hood on it, I added my Santee alley fabric. Because I have miles and miles of it. Then we will be here, Joy. We will be here. Then I decided to make a coat. And I think I'm going to make pants. I'm going full outfit with my Santee alley fabric. My so-called bloopers. That's my not so secret channel that I have connected to my channel. Awesome. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do with all my Santee alley fabric, but I've just started sewing. I've decided to do something about it. Like, let's be real. I hoard fabric, but I love sewing. So I'm not going to let it just sit here and not use it, you know? And I literally know a guy. Like, literally. The guy. All right. I'm talking about the Modelo Man, nothing nefarious. But if everybody feels like laughing, I thought I was buying a mannequin. I was going to buy one of those professional dress form mannequins, okay? Thought I was getting a deal. I bought the cover. It came in the mail. I was looking at it on my security camera. I was like, I ordered the wrong thing. When I looked at the box, it was a flat box. I was expecting this giant box. So I have this really, really fancy cover, and it fits my mannequin because it's the exact same size as a dress form. So it wasn't a total loss. But I have to add that on my list of no, I have to. That's going to be my book. I do not know how to order from Amazon. I once again thought I was ordering a dress form, and I ordered the slipcover. That's okay. It looks great though. You know what though? One day I will learn to not be so impulsive on Amazon because I see a price and I'm like, oh, that's unbelievable. It is because I didn't continue to read and see that it says Lycra cover. I was like, how could they sell it for this price? That's unreal. They're not. They're selling the cover for that much. So I have a really awesome cover for my mannequin. I haven't decided if I'm going to do. You know what? I'm going to start on my coat first, and then I'll time for jazzercise. It's definitely time for jazzercise. I definitely think I'm going to, you know what? I think I'm going to finish my coat. Let's see if there's any oil on here. Should we try out the Singer Simple and see if it can sew some arms? Or People when I made my when I put Richard Simmons in a video, man, I got some reactions from people. You found out who loved and hated that man. And you know what the funny thing is? I met him. He was not nice, and I still don't have a bad thing to say about him. Yeah, how's it going? David and David's hello. Great to see you. Welcome. Welcome back. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome back. I just got my Singer Simple going. I'm like sitting here debating should I finish my coat or start another overambitious project. I'm at least going to add the arms on my Santee coat so I can show off how beautiful. I just love that print. And when I call it Santee, it's not necessarily something that came right from Santee in downtown. It's like 2 blocks over. But my whole point is, in certain circles, there's a saying. Well, someone will look at something, they're like, I know you got that from Santee. Or they'll say, oh, that's so Santee. And you know me, I'm Captain Obvious. So I love the gaudy print of that because it reminds me of downtown Los Angeles. Yay! How's everyone this fine evening? It is pouring here in Southern California right now. It is absolutely pouring. I'm here. I'm queer. That's about it. Do you know what the funny thing is? Like right now, everyone on the East Coast is like, Californians are complaining about the weather. It's snowing. It's raining, and we're like, what is this stuff from the sky? The show is so Santee. I love that place. I was having a conversation with someone about that today. They were saying how like Santee has expensive prices now because their knockoffs are so real. They ask more money. You'll literally see a shirt that says Nike and it'll have a different label on the back, and they're like, we want $24. Back in my day, those were $5. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. Absolutely. We had rain and snow all day. I think that's what's going to happen. And I live in an extremely strange elevation where I am right below where it snows. So it's just going to pour. Yay. Welcome back. Welcome back, Joy. It's really, I live in a really weird place because it snows about once every like 10, 11 years here. And that is okay. Everybody's about to find out how many iPhones I have. Yes. Flash flood emergency. I know I'm inside. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, phone. Thank you for your concern. Thank you. Oof. They're telling people, you guys, which they should be. People don't know how to drive in the rain. They really don't. And the funny thing is, I learned to drive in Arizona, and they emphasize on driving in the rain because they want to teach you something. Yay. It's seriously like early fall here. I'm trying not to cry about the rain. I'm trying. It's the big one. Yeah, those sensors are yay. Hello, CF Beauty. Very nice to meet you. Awesome. Awesome. That's Skids is a friend of my so-called life. Welcome. In all seriousness, welcome. Welcome. Awesome. Yay. Welcome. Welcome to the House of Sewing. I'm going to start sewing in a minute. I'm just commiserating about the weather right now. So he's the one that brought all the suspicious characters. Friend of the show. One day, I will legitimately use that and get into a building. One day. Oh, I'm a friend of the show. I'm a friend of the show. One day, watch. Just watch. Yay. Thanks for the welcome. I'll try to get more. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Yay. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. I know that DJ, that works too. That works too. I can't remember what band it was, but I saw this no, it wasn't Mudvayne. It was I was watching it was one of those crazy clips on Twitter where the lead singer was walking up and security guard was like, "You don't have a pass." And he was like, "I'm in the band." But the security guard legitimately didn't know who he was, you know. Yay! Hello, hello. All right. So, I'm gonna test out this singer symbol. I got it going. It's already starting to stammer a little bit, so I'm gonna start sewing on it. I think part of the problem is sometimes when things do not get used, you know, the feed dogs lag a little bit. So I'm just gonna start using it and see what happens. Yay! But who? Thank you, Kilroy. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I should do a reveal, huh? It's that kind of night. It is that kind of night. I actually did finish a project, and I know Skits is gonna hood shame me like he did the other day. But yes, I made another ginormous hood because that's my style. Oh man, it is so. The weather is insane. My body's like, what is this water from the sky and this coldness outside? Oh man. Oh right. Perfect. I haven't even tried this on yet, so we're gonna find out together how this fits. I flat out wasn't feeling well, and so when I finished it, I was like, good, and I went to bed. But like, you know, ugh, when you're restless and you can't sleep, oh. Can smuggle a couple small children and a kilo of coke in this man's hood. Do you know this is mainly for sneaking snacks into movie theaters? Let's be real. I'm old school. Oh, what did I do with these arms? I'm doing it Linus style. Here we go. I like it. Maybe I'm just going full like Rick Owen fashion designer and I just don't know it. So oh man, that hood is huge. But like I said originally, I make clothes for myself. And because I have a 7 and size head, not every single hood agrees with my big giant head. So I started making these oversized crazy hoods and I just kind of fell in love. And I wish Ollie was here to shame me because I don't know what I did with the but I kind of like the Linus look on this. I don't know. I kind of like it. But I have plans on going like Santee Alley crazy. I was gonna make a whole outfit. So I was like, you know what? I might as well make an undershirt hoodie. Might as well. Well, I'm still thinking about making a car cover with all my scraps. I have enough. And when I say car cover, I mean 1988 Ford F-150 that's 25 feet long. Awesome. Movie theaters. Who goes to them? Do you know what it is? It's because I have a teenage son and like I thought me wearing full mask, gloves, coming, looking like a crazy person would deter him. He's like, I don't care. Let's go to the movies. So we go to the movies often, but because my son's homeschooled, we could go at like 10 in the morning, you know, when there's like we pay and we're literally the only people in the theater. That look the looks like the hood on cool boxes with the fancy robes they wear before they go into the ring. Oh, I could totally be a boxer. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And I need to put my glasses on before I completely embarrass myself. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I have this really weird Emperor Palpatine thing. Like, I don't know. I like a good dramatic hood. I like that look, and I always have. You know, there are certain sweatshirt brands that I buy because I know they have these like weirdly large hoods. Awesome, awesome. And I'm working on a coat right now. Basically, I have everything ready to go except for the collar because I was sick. I didn't realize how sick I was. And then in all the like being delirious, I was like, dude, you just finished a coat and you're about to finish another one. Have a seat, sir. I was sick. But because my spine was hurting because I had the flu, like I could not lay down. So I was just like going from the couch to the floor to the bed, and I'd come back out here and sew, and then, so I was productive in my illness. Awesome, awesome. I'm gonna let's see how this looks without the I'm on this weird thing where I'm gonna start making vests. No, I can't turn this into a vest, can I? Well, I can do anything I want to, but I'm saying, is that legal? Do I have pens in here? Because I will find out if there's a pen in here. This actually came out really well. I was worried about the panels because they were a little bit smaller than normal. Or maybe I've expanded. I don't know. No, I'm going to add arms on this, but I absolutely love the way it looks already. Now I look like Emperor Santee. Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. Excuse me. Sorry, let me move my mic. There we go. Perfect. This is what I do when I have flu-like symptoms. I sit at home and sew. The Californian doesn't even stop working when he's sick. For 50 cents a day, you can make the difference in his life for him and countless other Californians in need. Thank you. I can hear Sally Struthers. Was it Sally Struthers? Or did I just age myself? I think it was Sally Struthers. You look 100% ready for the ring now. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. As long as it's not slap boxing, I'm good. Either that or ready to hawk acid in the park. Dressed for all occasions. Dressed for all occasions. No, I haven't even put, like, the hood is obstructing the front of this. Absolutely. The hood is obstructing the front of it, but I haven't added a button or anything. I get excited when I make things, so I'm like, I just want it to look nice before I put it on before I even finish, is what I'm trying to stammer out. But sitting here wearing this, I don't see any mistakes, so I will finish this momentarily. It's so funny. Like, I wasn't feeling well at all, and then my temperature spiked and I started sewing. It's because I have miles and miles of the Santee fabric, and I still have a whole roll left, and probably like a full 2 or 3 yards, and then just countless yards in scraps. No, I don't. Thank you for noticing in full Eeyore fashion. No. No, I don't ever feel well. Oh. Miles of Santee is a killer album name. Absolutely. That's going to be my book name. miles of Santee Alley. I love it. I do. I look like the not so Iron Sheik. I love these combos. I love I said years ago I decided to add color in my wardrobe because all I did was wear black, blue, or gray. And I'm not kidding you. That's all I wore. I have great khakis, great coveralls. And one day I looked at myself, I'm like, I need to add some color to my wardrobe. I never feel Will either. Welcome to the club. Coffee pod is in the corner. Smoking lounge. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I keep my Ned Flanders diddly laugh, because you got to stay positive. You got to. You can't let life kick you down. Waternay noticed that. She was like, "You were sick just the other week." I said, "I know. I know." Oh, that's why I sit at home and hide in my sewing room and have a YouTube channel. So this evening I will be adding arms on this once I take it off and stop being so impressed. I love the hood. I still had leftover pink fabric, so I had to add the pink fabric. Okay, let's be real. I'm not necessarily a pink fan. The second I put it on, I'm like, ooh, I like the contrast. I like the way it looks. So the super I can't believe I'm about to say it. The Y2K aesthetic pink looks good on me. I don't know. I've been so offended by that saying lately. I've just gone full Yosemite Sam and I've decided to join them. Oh. Some folks think I feel tired because I smoke. Nope, I smoke because I feel tired. Absolutely. Do you know what it is when you have like yay?
Hello.
No.
I would like to say, in defense of California, we did not just have rain. There was a lake in my backyard. So, cut us some slack. I've come on with fighting words, apparently.
I don't blame you. We do. People, they don't feel sorry for anyone who lives anywhere where it's permanently 70 degrees.
It's not 70 degrees. It's cold right now.
True. Yay. Hello.
Hello.
So I need you to shame me because I thought I was buying a dress form. I have this really kooky idea. And I was going to buy a dress form and build it around the dress form. I bought a Lycra cover. And now my mannequin looks like that woman from Theranos. That woman. I'll show you.
We've had an abnormal amount of rain, Kilroy. It doesn't normally rain this much. We're set up for the amount of rain we know.
Can you see that thing? Can you see it? It looks like that thing. Well, without hair.
How chic.
And we've had this conversation. It has a $1,200 camera in it, so I can't take the head off. And I checked, and the camera still works.
Oh,
it still works because
that could be handy for your filming.
But it's glued into a mannequin because my predecessor was a electrical engineer and had time on his hands.
So I was kind of lurking while I was prepping to join in. We have some new people.
Yay! She CF Beauty is Skitz's friend.
Hello, Skitz's friend.
I thought everybody was rich out there. Just put some drains in it. I wish everybody was rich here. I wish. It would make it easier. Do you know someone legitimately said that to me and I was like, be nice in your response, be nice in your response, be nice. Like I had to talk myself off the cliff. I wish every Californian was rich. So I attempted to make a normal size hood and I failed. But keep in mind, I did have a legit 100-something temperature.
Mm.
And you want to
Well,
know how I know? Because I cut the arms 100-something degree temperature.
well, it's actually those look like they could be a good length for you to just give it a cuff.
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Let me
But
see.
it made me laugh when I put them on because normally they're never this wide ever. But I was, I couldn't sleep. I was restless. I'd get up, walk down the hallway. I'd laid on the floor in my living room. I have another one of these chairs. My spine hurt.
They're kind of um you could cut a vent and have it be like a wide vented cuff. That could be kind of cool.
Oh, I like that. All right, I should do the thumb thing. What era was that from? If anyone in the chat knows, was that like, because I knew people that did it before they started doing it in sweatshirts, like Rip Curl would do it. So you could put your thumb in the sweatshirt. What
I,
era is that from?
I mean, it's been around for a while, so
Putting your thumb through the sweatshirt?
yeah.
I guess because it reminds me of the badly dyed hair and Jenko days.
Mm-hmm. Kilroy says, I'm half making fun of the people there and half making fun of the people here who moved to California, thinking they're going to be rich without realizing that everything costs more. This is true.
I recently told someone we should move, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, are they going to pay me $37 an hour? And I was like, no. They were like, okay, then. Yay. Hello, hello. I like Pam's suggestion. Yay.
What was
hello.
Pam's suggestion?
Flared.
Mm.
Back when I really didn't know how to do cuffs, I made everything a flare cuff. everything was flared cuffs. Oh man. I'm gonna do that video. I'm gonna go back to some of my original stuff and I'm gonna do my so-called redemption. I'm gonna make a sorry.
Oh, I'm just agreeing that could be a fun series.
And Butterfly was so kind to me. My captain was awful. I'll go get it right now. Butterfly was so kind to me in the comments. She was like, "That's a great captain." but I've learned over the years. I've gotten better, Yay.
So I was looking back through the comments and making sure I didn't forget something or someone. Oh, hello, David. I have a concern. Some of your fabric's kind of heavy. If you make a cover for your massive truck, are you going to be able to lift said cover?
I have help. AKA a 14-year-old child who is now literally my size. I'm still under the weather, Butterfly, but I'm more presentable today. Oh, excuse me. You're kind of robotic.
Boo and hiss.
I would in my delirium, Butterfly. I made this, and I'm finishing a coat that I was sewing because I could not sleep, and so I'm one of those weird people where I get productive. Like if I can't sleep, I do laundry, I iron. You can make the equivalent of $37 an hour. Just work 8 jobs. I know someone who got a bunch of certifications and licenses, so they didn't have to work 8 jobs. Oh. Child labor for the win. Skids, you have no. Seriously, I'm thinking of my father. He was like, you live here, you work here. That was like his saying. So I'm way nice compared to my dad. I knew how to lay a concrete foundation by the time I was 10.
There's a fine line between putting your kids to work and teaching them valuable life skills.
No, he did, because over the years, like, we built a fountain that's still in the backyard, like, and like before I got my certifications, masonry was my fallback because I know stonework because I've been doing it since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the construction world, like not everybody knows how to properly lay concrete. And so it's, you know, if you know how to do it, your people like will like, hey, this guy actually knows what he's doing. That's why I teeter, like, because I try to teach my son stuff. Like, he has to know how to drive the tractor just so he can say that he knows how to drive something that has 16 gears. Because no one does anymore. No one does anymore. Dr. Dobson said, if kids aren't good for labor, then what are they good for? Is that Ray Dobson?
I don't know.
I think I've read like 2 or 3 Ray Dobson books. I could be wrong. Which brand of light beer do you drink while you supervise? I quit drinking a long time ago. But when I was a kid, my father, my neighbor, and his friend and his other friend, they all lived on the block. They did the King of the Hill thing. Where they'd sit around, they'd sit around. It was basically an excuse to stand in a circle and drink excessive amounts of alcohol, basically.
I'm still shocked at how much your father drank.
He never let it go either. It was the whole sailor thing, but he never let it go. James Dobson. I think I have like one of my bookshelves right here. I may have read a book by that individual. Oh man. So I'm like I feel like I feel kind of sick. My nose is kind of stuffed, but like if I was to sit on the couch, I would just end up making 15 items again.
Yeah. You seem a little like kind of like hyped up and like not, you're like not fully there, like you know, because you're not feeling well.
It's
like,
the flu. It's the flu medication.
Yeah.
They're fighting each other. I told you, I get lippy when my temperature starts going up. Like, I don't know what it is, but I think that's all humans. Like, when you don't feel well, you're like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, you have less capacity to think things through and regulate your behavior.
Well, also, like, my son was asleep, so there was no one there to judge me. So I was like, I was sewing in here. I had my 6-foot table in the kitchen. It's quite peaceful, actually. There's a lippier version of you. I'm actually quite reserved. Oh, right.
Says the Karen, the self-identified Karen.
I'm a real life Karen. I am
quite reserved.
I am. To a point. No, you know what it is? Do I have to give the George Costanza speech? We live in a society. Did you have the flu? I was wondering because you were boiling. Yeah, I did. My fever broke and everything. I was full, like, shivering. I couldn't sleep. Like, my spine felt like it was just a stiff rod. And anytime I'd lay down, like, my whole body hurt. It was bad. Stream more when you're sick. It would be really entertaining. I think about that sometimes, like in the middle of the night, but no one's up except for people in the UK because they're like eating breakfast. And I'm like, I can't sleep. Oh man. But this is definitely coffee, Sudafed sinus, and just me trucking through. Stream after a couple of good slugs of codeine, cough syrup.
I was not thumbs upping that. That was
random thumb. Again, inappropriate thumb. I'm up. Okay, Joy, I'm gonna test that one day. I'm gonna randomly go live at like 1 o'clock on West Coast time. Because I get these weird grooves, and then I'm like, it's like 1:30, and I'm like, I just finished a project. That's why when you see me like in my videos dancing and stuff, sometimes that's 2:30 in the morning. Oh, you're kind of roboting again, but I blame Spectrum.
It's so weird. I don't know. I've got here. I'll try unplugging. I had to plug in because I stupidly did not plug in my iPad earlier. I thought about it, and somehow the thought went in one side and out the other. I'll try to
Good, something to do. There were streams in there were people in the UK that probably thought I was from the UK because I'd get in full conversation with them. They just didn't know that I was like a full-blown real life insomniac. I'm up till at least 3 a.m. Gilroy is our morale officer here in the House of Sewing. Oh, I'm gonna test this thing out. I'm gonna test this machine out and see if I can if it can sew the arms on. We're gonna test the Singer Simple.
Kilroy's trying to get rid of me. Either that or Kilroy wants me permanently robotic. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way we're going with that statement.
I recently saw someone on a Cheese Made channel. It's so funny. They left and took the entire audience with them. And now they go live every time the Cheese Made channel goes live, and they have like 20,000 people in the chat, and the other one has like 500 now, and they used to have like 30,000 people in the chat.
Oh, goodness.
All right, I guess I should get back to work. The mannequin, once I put the mannequin cover on it, it's tripping me out. It looks like, is it Theranos?
Who's Theranos?
That woman that went to prison for that Ponzi scheme, the Enron style Ponzi scheme. She was a techie. You have a new cup each live stream.
When my kitchen had to be done, I got 2 tall cabinets to go like from counter to ceiling with glass doors and lights to show off my mug collection.
You know what's so funny? Ever since I started drinking my 40-ounce cups, I feel like I have a mug collection I don't use anymore. I have countless mugs, cool mugs, but they're not coffee pod size.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you just need to fill them more often. Bless you. Oh, no. Come on, lungs, you can do it.
Oh no, it's I have a weird sneeze, and then I like make sound effects after, so I had to mute myself.
Okay.
One blooper a stream. No, I'm kidding. Oh
So
no, I'm starting to sneeze because my temperature is going down. I need to put my coat back on. I love this Santee Alley material with this black stretchy material. This weekend, I'm really thinking about going back to Modelo Man and trying to get as much of that black stretchy material as I can. Especially the sweatshirt stuff that I had before. I just have to hunt for it.
Didn't you say it was uncomfortably warm?
I'm uncomfortably cold right now. I would wrap myself like if I don't know. I like working with that material. It reminds me of like it's almost polyester. And I know you love the synthetics. Those are just your favorite materials to work with, but I love it. I absolutely love working with this material.
I'll do rayon sometimes. That shirt I was wearing the other day. I had actually bought it after I quit buying synthetic, so it's rayon. That's kind of a compromise, and it can be a good dupe for.
I like rayon
silks.
One of the reasons I haven't put the eagle head on is because the head is so big it almost goes over the shoulders. And I couldn't find the other arm. It's buried somewhere in this room. So it's low hats. But like I said, I can't. That one is worth more than any mannequin in this room because it's got a still state of the art camera in it. Still to this day. Oh, it makes me mad. I turned it on and my computer was like, "Oh, do you want to connect to that camera?" And I'm like, "Oh, it still works." Ever since I put my coffee pot on my desk, I have just one mug. You know what? I was thinking about doing that, but then I had the Keurig out here and I found out that I wasn't a Keurig fan. So then I need a full coffee pot. Oh, you want to hear? I think my heater's dying.
Oh no.
It's picky. Yeah, I think it's dying, and I can't even like lie to myself about it because it's been like picking and choosing when it wants to be hot, and then last night it was blowing cold air, and I was like, "You are not going to give me pneumonia." And I turned it off, and I'm gonna go turn it on in a minute to see if it blows hot air. But it's, I think I'm gonna have to get a new one.
When's the last time you had it serviced?
Well, because I'm the servicer, like yesterday. It's broken.
I tried to save you $15,000.
I know it's insane. No, it's insane. Like it's fine. It's fine. The funds are there. I just got to do it. But I'm gonna get a new heater. I called a plumber tomorrow. There's all kinds of stuff I have that like because I had a problem that I couldn't fix, and I'm not a plumber, and I'm not that person because I have an expertise in one thing. I know I'm not a plumber. So I don't want to turn like a $200 problem into a $20,000 problem where I flood my house, you know? The Keurig was a tease, and like I need freakishly strong coffee. That's why you make fun of me because my coffee looks like chocolate milk, but I like really strong coffee, creamer, and sugar. It's like me, bitter and sweet at the same time. Oh man, my temperature's dropping. Let me put my sweatshirt back on.
I have an espresso machine because sometimes I just, spoon management and I don't have it in me to make coffee another way.
I haven't accomplished though because now my son drinks coffee too, but it makes me laugh because he uses the Keurig because he tells me he's like, I can't sleep when I drink your coffee, dude. No way. Smart young man. He's gonna go so far in life. No, he knows how to stand up for himself. Like I drink strong coffee because my dad didn't like sleeping. But he made his own choice, and I like that. I like that independent streak.
Yeah.
You're just saying that because you had to quit laying. Oh man, I want to take my boots off, but then my temperature will drop again. But I've had these wretched things on all day.
Do you have any little cozy slippers you could put on instead?
I have those really cool 90s shoes that you absolutely love.
Well, that might be an extreme way of putting it.
Oh. I
didn't say I hated them, just that you have other shoes I like better.
I've turned those into house shoes because they're perfect and they're nostalgic and they skate shoes the old school ones were super puffy inside. And this particular pair, I feel like somebody had them on a shelf because inside they look never worn. The outside they look like they just sat on a shelf forever. Coffee is a Navy's unofficial religion. I was raised by a Navy vet. I think that's what it is. A long time ago, when I was a little child, a doctor told my father asthmatics can drink coffee if they're in distress. My father took that as I'm going to give my son a lifelong habit. So I've been drinking coffee since I was a very small child. And in a weird way, I still drink the poor man's latte, if you think about it. Really strong coffee, milk, and sugar. That is the poor man's latte. Awesome, CF Beauty, awesome. My pops was in the Gator Navy LSD, and he was an E7 in the end, if that makes sense to anyone. But he was there from 1957. He was in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos from 1957 until 1972.
E7's a high ranking, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or at least a high pay.
he stayed in is what it
Mhm.
is, and he never left until he an IUD went off, and he woke up in a hospital, and they were like, "You can go home. You've had like 18 years of service now." I was
What?
medical. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. He passed away in 2020, but his legacy lives on forever. AKA the truck, all the other. He was the real life pharaoh. See, that's the thing. When you buy a bunch of stuff, like I'll never forget it. He looked at me and he's like, this is yours now, kid." Oh, eventually I'm gonna add arms on that. It doesn't sound like there's a complete and utter torrential downpour. I find it so ironic. I felt like the storm waited for me to leave the house. And then it just started raining and raining and raining.
I went outside to turn the sprinklers off for the rain, and it was, it was pretty dry. But then as I'm walking to the house, it started to pick up, and I thought I should, grab some fruit from the tree before I went in. And then by the time I got in the house, I was soaked.
Well, it's hard to gauge, like when I walked out of the house, it didn't even look like it was raining. And then by the time I got to the other side of the car, it was pouring. And
I'll
like
have
I
a good
said,
night, bud.
thank you so much for stopping by, Butterfly. I know I have early things to do in the morning too. But you know what? I promised a Mad Hatter. Let's make a hat. Because I'm just sitting here. Let's make a hat. I have my
How do you
shades. I'll show you. And I'm gonna see if I don't know if the singer can take it, because when you make a hat, like you put layer upon layer, and for this, I'm gonna be using 808 stabilizer or 806. It's 806. I use 806 stabilizer, and I just keep lining it up until I get it where I want it to be. But it's been a while since I've made a hat, so let's find out. I had so much fun making hats back in the day because I truly did not know what the hell I was doing at all.
I've never made a hat.
There's like a million different ways. Like bucket hats are awesome. Oh, excuse me. I was trying to make a pork pie because of my obsession with Desmond's Barbershop and the whole pork pie long coat look. I love that look, and I don't even live anywhere where it's cold. Not like that all the time where you're living in a coat, But I loved that Peckham look.
Mm-hmm.
There's people in Peckham right now saying, "What?" But it was my quest to make pork pies. Oh, right. So right now I'm just adding layers. Let me show you. I'm gonna pin this. I kind of have a mess on my table. But really, all I'm doing for this layer is just adding the stabilizer. I'm just layering it, and I'm on the wrong camera again. I'm just layering it over. The one important thing that you want to do is make sure that whatever form you have on top is matching the one underneath. When I pulled it off, I made sure that its corner and everything still matches. Like there's a corner piece. I'm literally matching it up because I'm about to pin and start cutting around it. But it's important. But once you get that groove, you just keep on adding a few layers. I've learned to not go too thick because over the years, like if you add too much, it I don't know. It just messes with the integrity of the hat, depending on what direction you want to go.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put too many in here. Oh, whoops. Don't want to do that.
I have to admit that I want a little pork pie hat with a little witchy peak on it.
Oh, that would be awesome. They sell like imitation pork pies downtown, but like I was telling that guy today, like they want real money for these things now. When like you used to be able to get dressed up for like a reasonable price downtown, where they want like put it on the Ritz prices now. Oh, weird. I used to do tutorials, but then I found out most of the people that were watching my stuff knew how to sew more than I did. So I stopped doing tutorials. Oh, right. I try not to add too many, but I'm gonna try to shape this. We'll see how it looks underneath, though. Good. Still keeping its integrity. And as I'm shaping it, I'm slowly cutting it down into a perfect circle. Because eventually I'm going to come through, I'm going to sew around this and then cut the middle out for my giant head. Oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
I have a vintage attachment that's for sewing circles, but I don't think that it goes quite that big.
This is the only viable way I've ever been able to do this. I might not even add that many layers, but I need it to be kind of thick. Actually, you know what? I'll add 2 and see what happens. Because it's 2 full layers. I was making hats so big, I would have to like go section by section because when I made my Erykah Badu hat, I didn't realize how big the brim really was. I used my grandmother's perm machine as the base because it was the most round thing I had in this room at the time.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's in the middle bedroom, and it's going to be in the front line of my museum. Yeah. Okay. So I have to like try to keep this even so I don't cut it down too much. But I also have to make sure the shapes are together.
I should have some little nail clippers in here. I have a hang nail and I'm fussing with it. And that's how you end up like bleeding.
Just don't be like somebody I knew that I won't say their name. Ex-wife literally got surgery for an overgrown toenail.
For an overgrown toenail or an ingrown toenail?
Whichever one.
Because an ingrown toenail, that's a different thing. Some people's nails, like that's not necessarily toe maintenance. It's just some people's nails end up growing in to their toe.
I never heard of that. I have real life eagle claws.
Because it's not like the top, it's like the sides. They like end up growing and digging into the toe.
Oh, so did you hear the part where I said I was sitting there minding my own business? It was pouring rain, and I saw someone go on the wrong side of the road while it was raining, And then I saw a cop follow them, like literally. I'm like, where's there a cop when you need one? And then the lights turned on and it started going in that direction.
Oh my goodness. No, I didn't see that. Hear that part.
I really wonder what's going on. But we have a local radio station. They're real life ambulance chasers. So I guarantee if I go on their website, they'll tell me exactly what happened. Because they follow police scanners.
Excuse me.
All right. Yeah, I won't go too many layers on this. Because usually I'll wrap this with fabric. But you can get really fancy with these hats. But I'm just doing this as a refresher to get my, get my beak wet.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've made a hat. It's probably been a full year since I've made a hat. I made hundreds of koofies in 2022 and I had to take a break. And then I took my kufi skill into hat making. Because it's basically the same thing. The only difference is the print. Because when you make a hat, it's in the shape of a kufi anyway. Okay.
I would not have confidence to freehand a circle.
Why? I've done this. Trust me, I had to gain the confidence doing this. Because do you know what it is? It's from the million mistakes I've made. That's what expertise really is, if you think about it,
I'd have a template or a string and a piece of, like a pin or something. I would be afraid to try and freehand a circle. Or I'd be like folding it up and trying to cut around or.
Well, I'm still I had a top template and I went crazy looking for it. And I got to clean in here. Because I had, I cut a bunch of templates, but I just can't remember what I did with any of them. That's perfect. Perfect. And these are my sides. This will be going around that like this. It probably won't be this high depending on. And I already cut the head hole, but I will be cutting that down because that's huge. And I can't believe I lost. I had a couple of templates for koofies, for all kinds of hats, and I don't know where they are. So I won't say lost. They're just somewhere in this room.
They're playing hide and seek.
Oh, and I saw another person driving with their headlights off today.
Seriously?
Yes. I think it's because the class is like on the main boulevard of my street, of my town. And so I see all the mayhem. Oh, man. It's weird. It's weird when you get sick on your birthday.
Nah. No fun.
Yeah, it was the definition of no fun. But I got good food. I hung out with my family. It's all you can ask for.
Nice.
I got a beautiful rendition of Happy Birthday.
So was it level 1 or was it level 5?
I got screamed at by my loved ones. Happy birthday! It's like Joe Crocker was singing to me. I would have preferred Joe Crocker. Oh, you can take it. Can you take it? Can you take it? Oh, it can. Oh, and it's quiet too. This part's kind of important because you don't want it to wrinkle because it'll start looking crazy.
You got that squeak out of its door.
Well, we try here in the House of Sewing to fix things. Perfect. I'm not going to do my normal craziness where I go around 6 times. I was thorough. When I first started making hats, I was so thorough because I kind of didn't know what I was doing. And now that I have an idea, there's a lot of steps I don't have to do. Okay. So eventually I'm gonna add a side to that, but that's just the base.
Mm-hmm.
So let me move this. This is the fun part. You gotta be honest with yourself. This is where I have to measure my head again. I'm actually kind of impressed that this machine can take it so far. I kind of want to cut this down a little bit, but I guess it's big enough. I do have a giant head and I do need room. And I do like going over my ears with my hats. Okay. Executive decision. I'm keeping that as big as it is. Because, like Kilroy said, I do use hats as eyebrows. I do. I do. It's a personal choice. I don't even know why at this point. It's just something I do.
Oh, I'm cold today. I should have worn a warmer sweater.
Oh, me too. That's why I'm wearing my no joke sweatshirt that's like padded. Okay.
I have a blanket. I've got the heated footstool on. I think that's too big. You're wrapped there. You have to see when you're out and about.
What are you talking about? I can just do this. Okay, I'll go maybe an inch tighter. I have a very large head. Okay. I just don't want to have to squeeze it on. Compromise. Perfect. Measure once, sew everything. Oh, so far, this machine can take the wear and tear. So far, I'm actually kind of impressed.
Nice.
For something I paid $10 for, it's holding up. And most machines, like my Viking was like, "How dare you?" So felt on me.
What was that clunk you had in the beginning? I heard the clunk, but I don't recall there being a resolution.
I just soaked it. And it eventually corrected itself. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So since we're not going for Christmas crown, I'm gonna cut this down just a little bit. That was my problem when I would always make. Well, do I want a high hat?
No, you have lots of hi-hats. Make a lower one this time. That's my opinion.
You just want I just want the pork pie. Okay. All right. I will cut it down just a tad, a tinge, a smidge, a hair, a minge. I am out of it today. We'll be back to regularly scheduled program, hopefully by Saturday. That is me indiscriminately cutting pieces off.
Oh, hello, Alibaba.
Yay! Hello, Ali. Hello.
Glad you could join us. Oh, that looks like a like a pharaoh's hat, like Nefertiti's hat kind of thing. I like it.
Yeah, but Nefertiti had hair. I'm bald. I'm kidding. Hey, Ollie, how's it going? Great to see you. Yay! Hello, hello. Okay, so we are on the opposite the side. I'm gonna sew on. So I need my other template. Yay! How's the weather treating you? I was griping earlier about the winter conditions here in Southern California. No one fell for it.
And then I came on hot, defending California.
Which it should be. Absolutely. Oh, that's so funny. Do you know what it is? It's because we experience fair weather a good amount of the year. Yes, would you say?
Um, yeah. Well, comparatively speaking.
To the Bahamas, to Kokomo. Oh, great! Here we go, Bermuda. I was listening. I can't believe I'm going to say this because now it's in my head. My playlist is crazy. It's all over the place. It literally went. I was listening to Footloose,
Nice.
rocking it. I forgot about that song. I think one of the reasons I pushed it out of my mind it's because I learned to play that burn on guitar, but that's all I knew. And so people were like, "If you play Footloose one more time, I will fight.
So
I will
then you changed
physically
over
fight
to
you."
Axel F.
Yeah. But that's a rocking song, Footloose. And now because I didn't finish my lessons, so I still can't finish Footloose on the guitar. But I can do the ba na 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 na. Oh, good time.
That song's in my head.
Mine too, Bo. Rent free. Rent free. Ba na na na. It's a you know what though? Because I'm tired of all the like strife and drama. So I'm looking for, more happy things. I know that things aren't the greatest right now. But so I listen to Footloose because it puts a smile on my face. It makes me laugh. Oh wow.
Gilroy says it's above freezing today.
Yay, Canada! Yay! Perfect. Okay. So I lined my top piece.
Nice.
Practice, practice, practice. I used to really be good at this. Okay, so now. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I had to talk to myself real quick and turn this inside out before I completely bonked. Now is the fun part of pinning this in a circle, going around the top as Footloose is just on Front Street in my head.
Alibaba says it might mean early maple syrup. I love real maple syrup.
So do I. So do I. Now
I
I'm
have
craving pancakes.
I have some that's bourbon barrel aged. So good. Yes, he is making a hat. He's making a pork pie.
Well, it's gonna be my so-called life pie.
Okay.
I need to start practicing because that was my whole point was to make a porky, and I just I made the Smokey the Bear hat, the Erica Badu hat. I made 100 koofies, and I'd like to thank everybody who made it all the way through the koofy era unscathed and still here.
Like a true person from northern climes, Alibaba said, I love the real maple syrup, real maple boiled down to a tar and then poured onto snow for a candy.
I've only seen that on television. Am I aging myself by saying television? The internet?
Sadly, yes, we do age ourselves when we say that.
All right. This is the fun part of pinning in circles, but I'm trying to make sure the edges are decent so they're not like because I doubled the fabric because I want it to be stiff on the brim.
Yeah.
But I do not add the stabilizer because it gives it a weird integrity. So I usually only use the stabilizer for the brim.
Mm-hmm.
It depends though. I'm not feeling too froggy, so I'm not going to jump too far today.
Ooh, Kilroy made meatloaf. I want some meatloaf.
I made meatloaf last Sunday, I think. Now I'm craving meatloaf.
Sorry.
And then I made meatloaf fries the next day. Oh, good food, good times.
You were talking about pinning and brim integrity and stuff, and I got sidetracked with thoughts of meatloaf.
Never heard of that. I've only seen that like people in the snow. It's because of the internet. And I've only been a place that cold one time and I wasn't standing around outside. Okay.
Alibaba says that most maple farms do that for visitors. And Alibaba loves meatloaf.
Let me catch a corner on here.
A corner? There's no corner.
Let me catch the proverbial corner on here. Okay, so this thing is performing 100 times better than I thought it would. It actually has the power to punch through. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 layers. And one of them's canvas and the rest is felt.
Nice.
I miss making koofies. I made hundreds of koofies. I have a cake in under all of my fabric. I have this giant tub. Somebody was trying to sweeten me up and they got me a basket at my job. The second I saw the basket, I looked at everybody. I was like, you guys can have everything in the basket. They cleared that basket in 35 seconds. And it's a wannabe wash tub. But they use it as like art deco. I'm like, I'm going to use that. They want our business, so they give us free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's a full revolution. Let's take a look and see how it looks.
Alibaba says a nice even feed helps so much.
I'm really impressed with this machine. This was a clacker a couple days ago that I purchased for $10 at the Goodwill, and now it is nice and nice and quiet.
Ouch.
Oh, I got myself. But I'm not. There's nothing in this finger. It's just cartilage, but I really poked myself. Oh. Footloose is living rent-free in my head. A nice even feed helps. Absolutely. Does anybody still make meatloaf, or is it just us four? I feel like it's starting to go down in popularity. My son loves it, so it'll live to a different generation. To the point where I get a phone call and they're like, I can tell you've been hungry lately because I'm getting requests for meatloaf and all. I go off when I cook. Oh, right.
It's weird how some recipes go in and out of fashion. I like meatloaf.
How can meatloaf okay, I don't know if this is like because of the proximity of where I grew up. I'm obsessed with nachos. You could put anything on chips and I'll eat it. Oh, that's perfect. All right, let's add it for you.
Press your seam before you put the brim on. It'll be easier.
I'm gonna hold on really quick. The House of Sewing delegation is actually ecstatic that Waternay is here. We thank her for her service. And she keeps my so-called life honest. Back to regularly scheduled program. I'm obsessed, Alibaba. I thought I'd grow out of it. I'm a grown man and I still go to restaurants and I'm like, I would like nachos, and I want them to come out because I with the rest of everybody else's food because I know you treat it as an appetizer. And I'm a grown man. I would like a full thing of nachos, please, and thank you. I still do that. I think that should be a requirement on the citizen tip. Making a meatloaf does that. Hey, there's people in other countries that make some good meatloafs.
A meatloaf and an apple pie? Is that what you're suggesting?
You know what? It took me a minute to I'm weird. I like that like fried McDonald's apple pie. I get those weird turnovers and cook them at the
Mm.
house. Why are you?
Oh dear. Kilbur started off so strong and then changed mid comment. I like nachos. Great. But only if they have the cheese that comes out of a can and probably is made in a nuclear reactor or an oil refinery. No.
The suburban delegation will allow it. Okay. So at my local grocery store, there's a nacho cheese in a can that they used to sell at the local canteen at the baseball field. So I like, and everybody in my town knows because we'd ask them like, "Where'd you get this?" They'd be like, "Dude, I got this cheese at Smart and Final," but it only comes in those 10-pound tubs.
Oh goodness.
Those giant metal tubs. They're not 10 pounds. They're like they're like 5 pounds. They're huge. No pumpkin pie. I haven't found a pumpkin pie is more unique to America than apple pie.
Yeah, probably so.
It's a regional thing too, though. You know. My parents tried so hard. There's this place called Knott's Berry Farm, and they have this. They use well, no, it's still there. They have really good food in the park, outside of the park. They have really fancy restaurants aligning the park, and my parents and my grandparents took me to this really fancy restaurant, and they put a piece of peach cobbler, blueberry pie, and apple pie in front of me, and I tried every single one, and I still to this day think they're all gross.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
And the funny thing is,
how can you go wrong?
I eat blueberries by themselves. I love peaches. Oh, now I'm going to start singing Presidents of the United States of America. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Millions of peaches.
I find fruit pies too sweet for me. I'm not really a fan, but I'm kind of surprised that you don't like them. That's what I mean.
I think it's because when I was really young, I went to this country that puts everything in a pie, and like I'm a jumpy person, and so from a very young age, I've been like, "Where's McDonald's?" And I'm talking about like I'm not a fan of liver, blood pudding, like real traditional food. Not a fan. I want to get a bucket of paste thickened chunky. If you lived, I might. You know what's funny? If I gave you one, I might go to jail for that. I could get you one in 10 seconds. I could go to the store and get one right now. That's why I laughed when, like, a long time ago, Alibaba, you saw my giant jug of goldfish, and you're like, I've never seen a jug that big. That's because that's American size. We don't play. Now I'm craving goldfish. I stopped eating them because I felt like a toddler. I had goldfish in my office. I had them here.
But they're fun little cheesy crackers.
I'm obsessed with goldfish. I love those things. What about rhubarb? Oh,
I actually, that one.
Blood pudding is
I'm
illegal.
not really a fan, and that one, the texture is not appealing to me.
I tried. You know what? I tried. They tried to give me some culture, and I was like, no pancakes, please. I should go give my mom a hug. She tried so hard to give me culture.
Maybe
Mm.
Kilroy could branch out to, a nice cheddar or Colby Jack or something.
I do get bougie with it. Well, I told you about my queso seco. Like I do get a little schmoozy bougie when it comes to cheese, but it depends.
I couldn't bring myself to try blood pudding.
Oh, I told you the thing I can't say on stream with the other thing I ate, but I think it's because I ate all that at a young age. I don't branch out. Like I do. I love Thai food, Armenian food. I eat like Indian food, even though I'm allergic to a lot of it. That's not the problem. It's a texture thing.
Mm.
And a long time ago, someone told me if you're in a foreign country and you really like what you're eating, don't look in the kitchen. Okay. I now have Paddington Bear's hat. Oh. The blue is just screaming Paddington Bear.
Did you iron your seam? You didn't iron your seam.
Millions of peaches. For free. It's okay. Most machines struggle with this. It's okay if you have issues. It's okay. Oh! I knew that this was going to be drama. I might have to bust out the baby lock for this. It's always the last part. It wanted to work. And also, I'm using really thick thread that's meant more for like a Juki. I'm using thread that's meant for an industrial sewing machine. So it's a little bit thicker than the average thread. Which, I don't know. Okay, come on.
Let's see. Huh. Kilroy, that's the bougie cheese rots in my fridge, but I finish off a brick of Velveeta in 2 seconds. See, now for me, it would be the opposite, except the Velveeta probably wouldn't rot in the fridge.
You don't like Velveeta?
Nah, no.
Oh my god. That was the first thing I learned how to make nacho cheese with. Because it could actually melt in a pot. Back in the day, you get the Velveeta chunks and you put them in a pot. You could actually melt them down.
Kilroy says that you said it fell off a truck. I swear.
Do you know? I think it's because of my upbringing. Whenever I see the tools at the swap meet, I'm like, I feel so bad for whoever these were stolen from. Because I know how expensive tools are. I have this unreal guilt of like, oh, we're almost done. Come on. Oh. I'm talking to my sewing machine like it's a crew member.
What? Kilroy says, and if you make grilled cheese with anything other than American cheese, you're going to hell. No, I would argue the opposite. If you make grilled cheese with American cheese, you're going to hell. You need a good sharp cheddar. I have from my friend's grandmother one of those sandwich presses that makes amazing grilled cheese. Some cheddar and some roasted bell pepper put in there.
You guys are you're making me miss my old George Foreman. I don't care what anyone says about that man. That grill was amazing.
What happened to your George Foreman?
I used it and used it and used it and used it.
Maybe you should get another one.
I should. This is the fun part. I don't have to get my X-Acto because I have a decent pair of scissors here. Now I'm going to cut out the head hole.
Alibaba says George Foreman grills are really good.
They are. They are. I'm not kidding you. It's not even because I used to stay up late as a kid and watch those stupid commercials. The George Foreman grill was amazing. Like, originally I got it under the guise of health, but then I discovered all the unhealthy things you can make with it. So originally it was, this thing takes all the fat out, but you can make some really unhealthy grilled cheese on that thing too. I would put bacon and oh man, I would get detailed. I cared so much more when I was a teenager. Now I've like lost my imagination with it. And yes, I am literally cutting out the hat.
Kilroy says, that ain't working. That's the way you sew it. Money for nothing and your machines for free.
Now I want my MTV. You know what's really funny? That like I remember watching that on TV. Money is for nothing.
Money for nothing and your seams for free. And then Kilroy says, I disagree with Hank Hill. I like charcoal grilling. With a George Foreman, you don't get the charcoal smoke taste.
I gotta cut the sides out. It's Jamiroquai.
I mean, I didn't get a Jamiroquai vibe. I got a wait, put it back on it before you cut the sides.
Too late. No, it's because I have like I don't want to cut through the hat, so I didn't completely take it to the edge. But I have a big head, so I have to completely go to the edge because I cut it to the shape of my head, and I have a giant head.
I was getting more of an LL Cool J vibe from that hat.
Oh, I'll take it all day. I will take that. Oh, I'll sing Around the Way the Girl in a second.
Alibaba says George Foreman grills are really good.
I miss mine.
I love charcoal grill, but the Foreman grill is fast.
You know what's really funny? I'm obsessed with charcoal grills, but I have propane. And I know
I have a 1952 O'Keefe and Merritt with Grill-Evator.
Why
and let me tell you, that Grill-Evator is amazing.
Why am I not shocked? Agree. What George Foreman? Oh, he's making it tall enough to smuggle a brick back when he goes to Tijuana. I wish they'd let me back in there. I'm kidding. Okay, see, that fits better. I need an around the way. I miss making hats. This was just a template. This was just me futzing around. I need an around the way girl. She's the one for me. I love making hats. I forgot how much I love making hats. I got Paddington Bear, which is actually I'm going for. Don't make. I have a few coats with my black pork pie. I look like, especially with this, I look like Paddington Bear, especially with my goatee. Oh, that's funny.
I sent a picture for you to share with the class.
Better watch that blue hat when you're done. Well, this is Dodger blue, so it's kind of acceptable, you know. You know what? It's not if you wear the colors, it's if you pretend to be something you're not, is what gets you in trouble. Let me see how it looks with my. We'll go high hat. We'll go classy high hat. Oh, that's 90s Porky kind of. I haven't shaped the brim yet. I used to have Paddington Bear books and read them to my baby brother.
Sweet.
And Mr. Man and Asterisk and Obelisk. I have every single Asterisk and Obelisk except for the modern ones. So I have all the old school ones.
Wow.
Yeah. And like I'm so strange. In my storage unit, I have 2 Walmart giant tubs of Garfield. I know. I need professional help. Even John Arbuckle would be like, get rid of that. They'd put a stamp on my head and send me to Abu Dhabi like Nurble. You know what? This hat is slowly growing on me. Nate Dogg? Am I giving you Nate Dogg? Oh, this phone's lagging behind. Or we have another flood warning. I haven't finished the edges yet, but I love this hat. Regulators, mount up. Better bring a heater with you when you wear. My friend worked on the newer Asterix and Obelix in France. Oh, that's awesome. The movies. I watched
Oh.
one of the newer movies because it brought me back. It did bring me back. I did. But I watched one in French because I knew the stories. I just sat there and watched the entire thing in French. It was quite an experience, actually.
Holly
Without
Bob is going to start a new band selling covers of popular songs.
I would love to go to the Kentucky Derby. I would put a 3-piece suit on for that. I would. There are very few occasions where you see me put on a duck suit, and I would put on a 3-piece for that. So just so I could wear a fancy hat. Rob Clark, a great artist and good drinker. Well, I like that hat on you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to even it out more, and I'm going to edge the sides. But I really, I actually know what I'm doing. I don't look like it. And I sure don't act like it. But every once in a while, I clack all this together and make something. But this is like my quick and easy way to make a hat. This is why I made so many originally. Because once I figured out I could do it in less than 10 minutes, I was like just making a ton of them. I went crazy with the koofies, though. There was something I was going to show you, but I completely forgot.
I don't know. I sent a picture of my stove for you to share with everybody.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me do to the other page. You know, sometimes when I click off screen, I forget that you guys can still see me. And then I'm wearing this glorious hat. Oh, wow. Oh, I like that.
Me too.
Yours is, I have a grill in the middle, but yours is way, like, what year is that?
1952.
Okay, I bought mine brand new in 2022, 2023, but it has a thing in the middle like that.
That's a griddle in the middle, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
cast iron actually,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
really good for making pancakes and things. And then the oven on the left without the window in it has the grill-evator, and it's like an indoor barbecue. It has a, a like a round, I don't know, like it's almost like a round pan or something, but that has a flat pan that sits on top of it, and it raises and lowers inside the oven to get it closer to the flame or farther away, and then you can adjust the flame itself, and it makes the best like grilled vegetables and barbecued meats, and
I love
it's
it.
amazing.
I have the wannabe version of that. Mine is a total wannabe version of that. Oh, that's funny. That's beautiful.
I love it.
You know what? I've got this feeling that time's just holding me down. I'll hit the ceiling or else I'll tear up this town. Tonight I'm cutting out. Loose, foot loose. Kick off your Sunday shoes. Please, Louise. Put me off of my knees. One day, someone's going to realize that I'm the one person in my family that can't sing. And I know we had this conversation, but I don't think lessons can even solve that.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Alibaba.
Oh
So,
man.
Kilroy, it's not actually just a broiler. It seems like it, but it's not because the flame is adjustable and the distance from the flame is also adjustable. And like something about like it, the way it's all enclosed, it's it's amazing. It's like it's better than just a regular broiler.
Do you know someone legitimately said, I was watching, I won't say the channel, but these are the same people who thought that um, Las Vegas was in California. They legitimately said, "What's a broiler? Is that an American thing?"
I, I don't know. I
They
mean, it's
said
so
they didn't.
commonplace here that sorry.
No, 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 please. I'm interrupting. McHat face. The
It's
rest
so
of
commonplace here that it's hard to imagine other places not having one. So I don't know what to. I don't know.
you know what though? They could live. They could live like out in the middle of nowhere. You know.
Or maybe they don't, know their way around the kitchen. They'd fail to meet with.
You shocked me when I found out that most people, like the younger generation, doesn't know how to cook. My son does. He cooks full meals. And the other night at like 10 o'clock at night, I walked in. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm making mashed potatoes." I was like, "Carry on, sir. Carry on." And last night, when I was talking to somebody, the kid made salmon and rice. I walked out and there was salmon and rice in my. So I indulged before I went to bed. I know in
Good.
Britain they call broilers the grill setting, so maybe it's common ground around the world under different names. That's what I was thinking because they were saying when they read certain things like American instructions, when they see broil, they don't know what it is, and I'm like, how how could you not know what? But again, I take things for granted. Broiler and roasting are interchangeable. That's what I thought. But I absolutely love these people. I've become obsessed with their channel, but they legitimately thought that Las Vegas was in California. And it rubbed me so wrong that I had to show Waternay. I was like, am I insane? Did they really say this out loud on YouTube? Like, am I
And with
insane?
such confidence too.
Hey, if you're gonna be wrong, be really wrong. Go big or go home goes in all directions, I guess.
I was surprised they didn't question it, but sometimes, when you think you know something, you just respond and you don't even question it because you think you're right. I hate it when I do that.
He's fattening you up for his norm. I've actually foot loose, cut loose, put on your Sunday shoes. Oh, it's kick off your Sunday shoes. I barely used a broiler. My son explores. Like there's stuff like the grill. I'd never used it before, and then one day he's like, "We're gonna have pancakes." I was like, "Okay," and he cooked it on that thing, and I'm like watching it like it's Mr. Rogers. I'm like, wow. See, kids, back in the day, Mr. Rogers used to go to factories. And like when I say Mr. Rogers, I'm literally picturing Mr. Rogers walking through a factory.
I have a special place in my heart for Mr. Rogers.
Me too. Me too. I still haven't brought myself to see the Tom Hanks movie.
No, I haven't watched it either.
I have a certain view in my head of Mr. Rogers, and he was so like above his time and ahead of his time that I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to know anything. I don't want to know if he spat on the ground. I don't want. Mr. Rogers is from Pittsburgh. He was actually like a hardcore hero of mine, even like as I grew up as an adult, because he, chose to be a productive human.
I saw a video where Mr. Rogers came out to make a speech at a university graduation, and everybody started singing. And
Oh,
a
that's
lot of the old timers on the stage who hadn't grown up with Mr. Rogers, they were just like they just didn't get it. They were there looking perplexed, and but all the people in the audience were so like the students were just singing. It was wonderful.
he's still on TV, and Lamb Chop is too.
Oh goodness. I
That
never
tripped
saw
me out.
much lamb chop.
It was weirdly on at like 4 in the morning in my area. And being a resident insomniac my whole life, lamb chop always tripped me out, even as a kid. It was always one of those really. I'm digging this hat. This is like Blue Brother, not blues, but I'm Blue Brother.
I like it. I like how it came out.
I'm gonna fix the brim though. I'm gonna add something so you can't see the white. I'm gonna wrap the brim of this hat.
What are you gonna wrap it with?
The same material, but um, I'll show you. There's other hats that I make like I wrapped felt, and you'd be like, "What?" This one. Oh man, I'm getting old. Oh.
You could do a bias strip of the fabric that you used on the lining.
I made this, and this is all made from felt. And this, I made this last. This is officially a year old because I made this for So Frugal because it matched all my.
Ah.
It matched what I was wearing, but I made it like a tinge too tight. So if I wear it too long, it gives me a headache.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
I know, but I love this hat. I
Oh,
love the 18 something minor look, the cowboy, like that one cowboy that you know is the villain because he always had his hat like this.
how does it look on the with that on the side? No, I mean if turn the hat, how does it look with the up brim on the side on one side?
What do you mean?
Like instead of having the patch on the front, how does it look with the patch on the side?
Oh, I haven't taken this patch off in years. This
No,
was.
no, just turn the hat.
Oh, like this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm not from. Yeah, but I'm not. This reminds me.
I just
There's
wanted
this
to.
really famous Australian. I can't remember his name. There's this really famous World War II Australian. They made a video game about him, but he had his hat like this.
I just wanted to see how it looked with it on one side.
It's growing. I actually. He became a Presbyterian minister, and when he expected to be when he expected to go to church, he was told to use television. Wow. My knees have finally begun to let me know they exist. I'm in that.
Oh no.
Do you know what it is too? Is I'm in denial. So when my like when I get up in the morning, I'm like, I have to get up early to charge. I do. I'm like an old car. You got to start me first. Can't just drive me. I got to be warmed up. Ooh.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I got really into making hats. I mean, really. I know. We're terrible, Joy. We're terrible. That looks like a grillion. Yeah, a ghillie hat. Yes. There, I can't remember his name. There's a very famous World War II, a man from Australia, a very famous man. I can't remember his name, but they made a video game out of him. Oh, I can't remember. He's not in the Australian Armed Forces. Craigie. I can't, but it was because I fell in love with like the story of Ned Kelly, and there's all these crazy legends in Australia, and I can't remember. I can't remember now. I always say that it takes time for my nuclear reactor to come back online. I have to warm up in the morning. When I get up in the morning, like I need some grace and some space. But I think you know, I try to stretch. I have circulation issues. So when I get up, I got to do my Tai Chi. Plus, with the cold weather, it's reminding me of my age. Ever since my car accident, like it lets me know, like, no, you can't run a mile as fast as you used to be able to. It came up with. He came with that hat. Many forces got that hat. My dad had one issued in the first Gulf War. That's awesome. I've always wondered about that. Is it like depending on what region you're from that you get that hat? I've always wondered about that. because I have all kinds of British stuff, but I knew a lot of people from England. I have all kinds of British military stuff. I can tell when the weather is going to change in the next 5 days because my ears will ring. Mine is my left leg. Ever since my car accident, um, I get the shooting pains, or when I walk, my ankle will just go bye. There was a an old Kaiser commercial that was like, or that weird crick in your ankle, and some guy's like, oh, not again. I've turned into that. I have literally turned into that. I don't even know what it is anymore. All right. You know what? Let me cut a strip and we'll add it on the hat. We'll see how it goes. This sewing machine is 100% of a success. I am so shocked at how successful this sewing machine is. I am beside myself because I get a lot of backups, but this thing it shows that I'm getting better at fixing modern sewing machines. I'm stoked. My mother had it when she called her Doppler radar. She heard and she was extremely tired when the weather was going to change. I'm following in her footsteps. Actually, absolutely. Absolutely. I call it my rheumatism, but that's just because I grew up around people that would say things like that. You know what? I'm not as I'm gonna fix this, but I'm not as rusty as I thought I was. I guess making hats are like riding a bike, you know. Awesome. Mm. Oh man. Oh, Footloose is blasting in my head. All right. So I'm gonna find some more pieces and add on to this. That sucks, you're right. I felt that too. My back tells me when it changes from same. You know what the funny thing is? I still have not got used to that. I do not know what that is. That's me not accepting my age, really, is what it is. But I think in the end, you kind of have to. All right. So let's see if I can cut a strip long enough for this, or I might have to cut a few strips for this. It's been a while. I am a bit rusty when it comes to hat making, but I'm not as rusty as I thought I was. I thought this was going to be an utter and complete debacle, and it's not as bad. Once you get the template down, you could do anything with this design. Like I said, this is just felt wrapped with material around it, but it's stiff. It's a good hat. Oh, all right. What I want to know is how the man who wrote Danger Zone also wrote Footloose. And that is Kenny. Is that Kenny? Is that? That is. And Kenny Loggins wrote that I just checked in to see what condition my condition was in. Kenny Loggins had some just absolute amazing song. That's a Big Lebowski song if anybody's keeping score. I think that's Kenny Loggins. Oh, and if anyone's ever feeling inspired, do not play that song on your YouTube channel. They will try to take your channel down. I just wanted to check in to see to see what condition my condition was in. And YouTube was like, no, sir, you cannot check in. Perfect. I should make a video about that. What songs not to play on YouTube? Faith No More, Kenny Loggins, anything from the Big Lebowski soundtrack. Oh, right. I don't know if that's the same size. Oh, right. All right. So I'm just going to make sure that this is okay. I'm going to start wrapping these pieces around this hat. Kenny Loggins is a great songwriter. There's quite a few songs. The Big Lebowski soundtrack, I think, introduced Kenny Loggins to a whole new generation. Because I even remember back in the day before the internet, we actually had to research these songs. I remember being like, that's Kenny Loggins, like shocked that it was Kenny Loggins. All right, let's get this first piece in there for the hat. Perfect. All right. Gotta lay this on more of a flat surface. As I my desk is an absolute mess. I am in full like rain gear today. Usually I'm in full vest, but it was pouring down rain when I came home. Let me switch my camera angle. All right. Perfect. All right. It's going to take me a second. Perfect. I'm going to cut some darts in this. Beautiful. Perfect. I'm a bit rusty when it comes to making hats, but I got to get the pin through both sides of my dart. There we go. Perfect. As I have Footloose just blaring in my head now. This is the semi-tedious part of hat making when you're wrapping the side. But this is just going to add even more color to it and make it look amazing. Perfect. Awesome. Darts for the win. It's been a while since I've made a decent hat. So, like I said, I'm a bit out of practice, but it's all starting to come back to me. I'm slowly starting to remember all the tricks of the trade, so to speak. As highway to the sewing zone. Do you think that we're all biased to this music because we remember it, or is it just better music? I have these arguments with myself all the time because, like, there's certain things I try to get into, and I'm like, oh, this is not for my age group. And I try, or I'll hear, like, recently, I was watching the Grammys and I didn't know who any of the artists were. And it made me feel out of touch, but it's just that's not my genre, you know? But I think a lot of the songs that we sing are timeless. All right. AC/DC at their name for brothers and sisters sewing machines motor. Angus said so over and over. I love that. Perfect. All right. I'm surprised the Grammys haven't collapsed yet because I'm sitting there and I was watching it with my mom and I looked at her and I asked her an honest question. I said, "Do you know who any of these people are?" And she's like, "Maybe." And I'm like, "That's a no. That's a big no." And like I watch for the fashion. We have, I know it's hard to believe in LA, but we have channels that are like, the award season channel. So they're stalking all the famous people. So it's a big thing around here. I just want to see the fashions. But I legitimately could not name half of the people. And I'm sitting there, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of out of touch. I'll admit it. I will fully admit it. Or I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that I don't know who these young men and women are. I don't know. All right, that was a huge dart that I. Okay. All right. I wonder what kind of machine that was. You know what? There's all kinds of things I look up to see. Like if I spot a sewing machine in a movie, I pause it. I'm like, okay, I have to know what year this came from. I think book balls. Ah, should we sing that in unison? Oh, so sad. So sad. None has said that they made their outfit themselves. Oh wow. On RuPaul's Drag Race, people will say, "I do not know how to sew." Then they come out with these amazing outfits, and I'm like, "You had to have God help. If you don't know how to sew, how can you like have flawless seams all of a sudden, So I think a lot of the time they get help is what I'm trying to stammer out. All right. This is coming along. I just got to keep cutting my darts in this thing. All right. Perfect. Oh. I almost missed that. I'm trying to cover the thread to give it that look. But this is the back of the hat. All right. Perfect. The Grammys have gotten bigger and bigger every year. They have. But the thing is, it's like, I think because I listen to this, I still listen to Shalimar. I still listen to Midnight Star. Like right now in my head, Faith No More is still relevant. Like I have a Soundgarden album that I still listen to in my car. When I want to tune out the world, if you hear Black Hole Sun, you know I'm ignoring everyone. Oh man, I love that song. Okay. Perfect. Now I have Black Hole Sun stuck in my head. Oh, yay!
Hello, hello.
I was wondering.
Well, I had some what I thought were some technical issues, and I took that opportunity to get some matcha because I was dragging. And I had to pee.
I still listen to freaking Dion and the Dell Vikings. Do you know what's funny? I think I might have that on like a what are they 12s, 15s?
Oh goodness. Do you have a player for that?
Yeah. I was playing one song and I was like in love with it. And I called my mom and I was like, "What song is?" And she laughed. She's like, "Of course you don't know what song this came out when I was in high school." I gotta remember now. I have yeah, I have multiple working record players in this room. How did you cut that strip on a bias?
No, did you cut it on the bias?
Oh no, I just cut darts in it. Pure pirate sewing.
Well, he didn't iron his seam, so
No, we're
I
going
doubt he's cutting on the bias either.
full Paddington Bear. I'm gonna put on my frumpiest coat in a minute. Even though this coat is feeling frumpy because I wore it. Like I did not take my coat off because I was so traumatized from the rain. Oh,
Oh goodness, the Mickey Mouse player. Sorry, you were traumatized by the rain. I got distracted. I had a squirrel on.
do you know I'm still looking for a Teddy Ruxpin that isn't $700?
Oh,
And let me. No, I don't want to look that up on Amazon because I might purchase one. I just want to put a Slayer tape in it, like it's 1990 again. I had a Teddy Ruxpin, and I'll never forget the day my cousin was like, "Let me show you something really cool," and then we started putting like Judas Priest, Slayer tapes in the Teddy Ruxpin. All right, we're gonna find out how simple the singer symbol is. I'm really putting it to the test.
oh yeah. Alibaba wasn't here last time. Alibaba didn't get to see your new machine.
Oh, so I purchased this machine a couple days ago, but I got sick for real. I couldn't even lie to myself about it. And I brought this singer simple back to life. And the funny thing is, if I hadn't got sick, I wouldn't have the patience to sit around and soak it and wait for it. But I soaked it and walked away and came back. I do have bias tape in here, though. I swear, I promise, I know how to sew.
Well, you don't have to use bias tape, but you should cut the fabric on the bias. But if it's felt, then it doesn't have a direction, so you're good.
This machine is oddly quiet. I'm used to my clacky baby lock because I've tortured that poor sewing machine. Do you know what it is too? Is that the baby lock is weirdly reliable. But I think after hearing this, I need to service my machine.
I was gonna say, not if you abuse it.
Well, I don't want the same thing that happened to my Husqvarna Viking, which was the Battlestar Galactica of the fleet.
Treat your machines well and they'll last a lifetime. It's my sage wisdom.
Oh, don't worry. When my so-called life, the movie comes out, you're gonna be the words of wisdom. Or just that ominous "I told you so" look.
Oh, dang it. I had a comment earlier and it didn't go. Oh, the I told you so. I try not to make those looks. My apologies.
Are you kidding me? I sing the Randy Travis version. I told you. I told you so. I'm being nice. Oh, sorry.
Was the Mickey Mouse player like especially rough on records, or was it just because you just used them and enjoyed them, as Kilroy says?
So the prize is in the pride. That's like Teddy Ruxpin. Let's look it up on Amazon and see how much Teddy is. No, and you know what the funny thing is? I have tapes. I was about to say, do I have tapes? I do. I have a ton of tapes. Teddy. Rubskin talking bear. $249. Okay. That'll stop me.
Will it?
I won't spend $249 on a Rubskin. It's not a microphone. And Teddy does not look like I remembered him.
I always found him a little creepy.
The cartoons I thought were creepy. Honestly, it was shot like even as an adult, I go back and watch it. Like if you go back and look at the Teddy Ruxpin Castle, it kind of disturbed me as a kid. I don't know what it was. But Teddy Ruxpin definitely had some dark vibes to him. All right, let's take the pins out and do a full whirl. And I think we have a hat.
Woohoo!
I've got this feeling that time's just holding me down. I'll hit the ceiling. Get loose. Oh, you never want me to have the lyrics in front of me. I told you about the Ferengi rules of acquisition. I printed them out. I printed them out, and when this was the beginning of the robocalls, they were like aggressive. I would start reading the Ferengi rules of acquisition to them, and not crack. And they'd be like, "I'm just trying to talk to you," and I would rule of acquisition number 125. Like I would just keep going. Oh, good times.
I have a book of the Ferengi rules of acquisition, except now I can't find it, and I'm not sure if I loaned it to somebody or where it's gone. I'm a little.
You gotta do what I do. I search people when they leave my house. Kidding. That sounds like a ran out bobbin. Yep.
No, that's the worst.
Well, it's always towards the end of the project too. I only have a few more strokes, and I'll successfully have a hat. Let me see if I can find
that, Alibaba.
Footloose is so loud in my head I didn't even hear your Footloose is just blasting between my ear. The most I've ever paid for a record, I think, was $50 for John Coltrane's "Love Supreme." See, that's worth it though. I paid something like that for Robert Johnson for my father because he was obsessed with Gut Bucket, like stringy blues.
Yeah.
Last copy in the store. That's why I had to switch to ebooks. I don't know all the books. I have Kilroy. One day I'm going to show you my collection, and I have not one but two Encyclopedia Britannicas in storage. I have the complete works of all kinds of stuff because of my grandfather and my father.
I feel like I loaned it to somebody, which I need to just stop doing. But my books are very organized. They're in category and alphabetized by author, organized on the shelf by series order or publication date.
You know, I will loan to somebody if I know they're going to give stuff back.
Yeah, but
There's this person I know. His name's Marquette. I absolutely love that man. Whenever he borrows anything, he gives it right back within a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
His wife, on the other hand, she asked me for something. I'm like, "Is Marquette here?" You have to sign a requisition for this.
Sometimes you loan it and you think the person's going to give it back because they seem trustworthy that way, and then they turn out not to be. Or
I just hit up a neighbor that I gave a pipe wrench to 10 years ago. That to me, that was snaky. I was like, "Dude, I know you have my pipe wrench," and he came right out with my pipe wrench.
My neighbor loaned me a big pipe wrench when I had to clean out the valves in my shower. And I've tried to give it back. I've messaged him like 3 times, but
Oh, cool.
So it's sitting by the door.
Oh no, I found a wound bobbin, so I squeed with joy.
As one does.
Well, it's a whole process because I have a bobbin winding machine, aka a Genome. Oh right. Yeah, I'm still a little sick. I can feel the delirious nature of my speech this evening. Oh, and my need to sing Footloose is showing me how sick I really am.
You're starting to sound a little draggy. Like you're still punchy, but you're punchy and draggy at the same time.
I drop off at night. I've always been like that. I drop off. When I'm sick, like I'm good during the day, and something happens to me at night where my body is like, sit down. I've got this feeling. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go around one more time and pull the pins, and I think we officially have a hat.
Woohoo!
But I gotta make sure the edges are completely around. Even though this was my prototype, I'm better than I was. I'll tell you that much. It's because I got this feeling.
Nicole Rudolph has a video on hat making, and she got a form that like comes apart in special ways so that you can get it in and out of the hat that has like the funny shape on it. And
oh yeah, that's awesome.
It's interesting to watch, even if you don't have any desire to make that kind of hat or make hats that way. It's neat to see the process.
Oh, I want to learn and get complicated new machines. I'm all about complicating my life with new projects.
Alibaba says, I silently wish Rockwell could have kept that going. Why didn't Rockwell keep that going? What happened? Do you know?
What's that?
Do you know why Rockwell couldn't keep that going? Alibaba says, I silently wish Rockwell could have kept that going.
Kept what going?
The career? Music career?
Oh, sorry. My dad worked for Rockwell. It's an aerospace company. You're confused. I was like, they're still around. They just changed their name a couple of times. But like, have you ever seen the movie Contact? In the movie Contact, there's a scene when they're telling Jodie Foster when the first ring thing gets destroyed, and they're like, why build one when you can build two at 9 times the price? And that's my motto. I'm kidding. I don't have 10 of everything. I might have like 2 or 3 of it.
Alibaba says, one, that Nicole Rudolph is good to watch. Yes, I agree. And says you need a Singer Class 26 hat machine.
Please. I need that's on my Christmas list. And I've been watching videos about how to make shoes too. And I watched Phoenix make shoes. But I want to make boots. Like some real, like, something I got to take a hammer to.
Nicole Rudolph has boot making videos.
I need to get into that. I don't know if we're full Paddington yet.
Oh, Alibaba says, oops, class 25.
I'm always down for a new machine. Especially one that I have to figure out what it is.
That would be amazing.
Oh, this machine is amazing.
I'd like to experiment with my carpet binder, but my word, that thing's heavy. I don't have much stamina because chronic fatigue, but I'm strong. And
I'll help you
whoo,
out.
that is a lot to move, that machine. It is so heavy.
I'm whiny, but I'll help you.
Great. Next time I want to rearrange the furniture
I'm
and
really
all my
cheap.
sewing machines.
You just have to pay me in cookies,
Okay.
preferably brand ones.
Okay. I can figure out how to make some good brand cookies. Throw some candied ginger in there.
Oh, it looks better with the rim. I've got this feeling.
Yeah.
Poor man's hat. I've got this feeling. Get loose, foot loose, kick off your Sunday shoes. Oh, and the singer's simple came through for the win. Do you know most machines, and my nose is totally stuffed. Most machines cannot hang making hats.
Mm.
Most machines, like even my husky, would struggle. But by then I'd already really used it. Be sure to put the steel toes in them when you eventually drop a serger on those. Oh man, I've dropped heavy things on. Do you know last year I kicked my coffee table and I legitimately thought I broke my foot.
Oh, oh,
I was on the floor like, is this the end? And I didn't. I was just in pain. I couldn't
oh.
believe. Oh yeah.
I caught my toes on the leg of the sofa when I was carrying a chair. So I'm trying not to throw the chair into the television as I'm falling
Yep.
over.
Yeah.
I hurt so much because I like sprained my foot and ankle and like all up the side of my leg. Oh my word. It was awful. So I feel you.
Oh man, I love it. Let me puff out the top a little bit more.
Very nice. When you shape that with the iron, it'll be great.
I've got this feeling.
Oh, what the
That is
hell?
gonna be my new go-to. Oh, I love it. I look like what was that wrestler's? I can't remember his name because he had so many different names. Oh, I love this hat. I need to I should have put more in the brim, but that's okay. Because my problem was I would put too much stabilizer in the brim and it would be held to sew through. And
I
I would
don't know
have the
that
same problems I'm having now.
I don't know that you necessarily needed more stabilizer. I think it's just ready for you to shape now.
True. I'm gonna play with this thing all night doing this. Because I'm going for the pork, the porky pie look. But it's total Paddington. But this is something I love to do. Like hat making is something that it's fun for me. It's one of those like just total fun projects. And it feels good to get back into hat making. I love it. I'm sorry. I wasn't even trying hard on this one. I suggest for boots Kirby Allison
Ooh.
with any of the bootmaker. Well, with any of the bootmakers. Dominic Casket, he's got 10, 20K a pair. I was thinking about that too. So how do we get to the point where we can charge $5,000 a pair of jeans like Balenciaga does?
Well,
Inappropriate thumb.
part part of it is you have to have the nerve to charge that price. And then the other part is recognizing the work that you have put into something. So, like, even if you don't necessarily charge 6,000 a pair like Balenciaga does, I think you do potentially undersell yourself and not charge your time investment and worth.
Let's look up real quick. Let's see. Let's see. The one thing that gets me, yeah, I accept your cookies.
There's a custom jeans maker I saw. he has a video of making a pair of jeans start to finish. It's pretty interesting. Um, and he charges 1,500 a pair, I think, or at least they start at 1,500.
That's see, but like, oh wow. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you, and this is what bothers me more. I think this is what bothers me more is that they have the Y2K aesthetic in Balenciaga, and they're totally just making money off the whole Janko thing.
Mm.
So let me show you.
But I
If
think
I could,
also with some companies like that, you are paying for the name.
can you see that, young man?
Uh-huh. Do I like it? No.
Okay, so the guy on the left, I actually dress like that.
No,
I
because
do.
that's
I have that whole outfit, but I got it at the thrift store. I have that whole outfit.
but no, that's like it's like dragging him down.
I have this outfit too. The light denim one. When I see the distressed ones, like 1,050 for a pair of sweats. Look, and they're ripped. 1,250 for a ripped sweatshirt. The overs, just the jacket is 2,000. Man, I'm undercharging. Super destroyed baggy pants, $2,450. I could make that French coat right now. Give me a pair of scissors and tell me something you don't like about me.
There's I read a comment about fountain pens, and they said up to $250 you're paying for the nib. After that, you're paying for the name.
Okay, but like I would wear that though. Would you walk with me or would you be like, I don't know this hobo? This young vagabond with his crazy hat and his $3,000 homeless shirt.
Well, I'd walk with you with that sooner than some of the patches you wear.
Okay, you say that. I'm gonna show up wearing this. You say that. I'm gonna show up wearing this whole outfit with a bag
Oh,
and everything.
see, that whole thing is just dragged down.
Is that a dress though? I need
No,
to know the price. That's
no,
one
actually,
piece.
no. I think it is,
That's
or a skirt anyway.
that's a skirt. That is one piece made in Portugal. It's unisex.
But the pockets down around your Achilles, I'm not liking the, I'm not liking the lines of that look.
It is weird to me how much money they charge for this. He looks like he turned an old sleeping bag into a coat. It's crazy to me how much they can charge for this. Can I just put like my so-called life and just beat the heck out of it and sell it?
You could.
See, but like I'm telling you, I dress like this. I have that coat and those pants and the like I wear that
Mm,
combo.
no, your coat fits totally differently from that.
Yeah, it's tight. It fits high and tight. It does. A little bit more than that. But I wear a variation of some of these. Like I basically wear this. I wear leather with a hood and baggy pants. But I don't look like that. Oh, look at those shoes. Sideshow Bob would be so proud. Could you wear those? Oh, look at the back of that. At least it's real. Could you wear that?
Yeah, that I could wear.
The arms are puffed out intentionally.
Yeah. I don't really like the big Balenciaga across the back, but I'm not really a label person. That's just my own personal taste.
Of course, I like the jacket that's $4,450. Oh, come on. I can see. I'm gonna make that. I have that. I have that top coat. I'm gonna go to downtown and find that brown fabric.
I think that would be a fun project to make. I don't think I would really care to wear that personally.
Long skirt and a hoodie. It's an outfit I've done so many times. Thank you. Like I wear very. I think what they do is they go crazy on variations of what people normally dress like. So your soul at the crossroads.
I think I yeah, I mean, like doing variations of what people wear. I think that's a good point. But I think also um some lines are better for certain people. So like that, like that long line on some of these outfits. Um I just don't have the type of body to wear like that long. It kind of drowns me. It ends up not being flattering on me.
The
So
prices they pay for a shirt to look like a death metal shirt is weird to me, though.
I don't mind that outfit. Scroll up a
Oh,
bit.
come on.
Go
Oh, I'm
back up.
showing up. This right here. Right here. Look at that. Says the guy wearing a Paddington the Bear hat. No? Is that a okay, is this a toot or a boot?
I like that it's wool gabardine.
You are so positive. You're looking for positives.
Well, but like
I
that's
look
the
like that.
that's
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I mean,
I dress like that
every
redhead guy.
everyone has like different things that they like and different things that they like to wear and different things that look good on them. So like, just because I don't like something doesn't mean somebody else can't like it or that somebody else wouldn't look fabulous in
Look at
that
those
outfit.
boots.
I can't see them, the things blocking the boots.
Can you
Ah,
see him?
I'm not a fan
Those,
of those boots.
yeah, so Sideshow Bob is like, they ripped me off. They ripped me off. I'm suing. If I was Sideshow Bob, I would sue. But I honestly dress like Red here. I dress like this guy.
No,
I
you dress better than that.
well, in my head, I dress like that. I will jump off this train in a minute. I'm looking for the
I
distressed.
like I like that outfit, the one where it says cargo pants on the far right.
Sorry, I have my glasses on. Let me take them off. I can't see too far. I wear those. See, but they come like there's no way this guy has size 15 shoe. Like I wear size 13, 13 and a half in certain boots and shoes. My foot it sticks out. There's no way that is that young man's shoe size. Those are just really fancy Jankos though.
Kilroy says, that just looks like they raided their mother's closet and found a coat from the 80s. And then Kilroy says, why is it that when Balenciaga does something baggy, it's fashionable, but when I do it, it's not?
Thank you. I dress like this. I wear this combo right here. Oh, my computer is not liking me right now. I wear this combo. Silence.
Well, no, I don't think you do. They're different lines.
I agree. You know what's really funny? I'll spare you. I like a more tight jacket. Like I bought this kind of loose, but it still has the high cut in the back. You see?
Mm-hmm.
I like that look.
But also, like the pockets are up a little bit higher, so it doesn't have that like dragged down kind of look to it.
Why is it? Thank you. They aren't even really fancy. That's the one thing that trips me out the most is that I was obsessed with the 90s fashion, like the Kate Moss era. I would watch fashion shows. They had fashion.
See,
They had things that people would wear every day, or if it was like untouchable, it was something that wasn't too gaudy.
I feel like when Kilroy wears the long skirt and hoodie, it looks way better than what we just saw.
I like it just is weird to me because I kind of dress like that, at least in my head. Like even right now, I'm matching my denim. I am Kate Moss like. I used to be. And then and then my 40s hit. Now I look like Randy Moss.
Even when I'm super tiny, I don't have Kate Moss's figure. It's just she's like very willowy, and I'm not willowy.
I am obsessed with the Canadian tuxedo. I have I know this is shocking, but I actually have shirts that do not have patches on them. And I have a dark denim shirt that I wear with my dark denim pants. And people are always like, "Oh, that's so fancy." I'm like, I just literally don't have patches on. Literally, that's it. But the bar is so low that when I put my Canadian tuxedo on, people are impressed. Like even today, they were probably shocked that I didn't have any back patches on.
What? You went out without back patches?
I'm an alien. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go float over to my so-called sewing room, the AKA the can. I'll be right back.
Oh. Well, I brought a couple things for entertainment, so I guess I'll show them while he's gone. This is the book I'm currently reading, Death and the Taxman. An IRS agent heard he was going to die, and so he tricked Death when Death came to reap his soul. And so now the IRS agent is running around with Death's scythe and cowl, and Death is trying to get them back and fool people at the IRS office. It's delightful. Highly recommended. And the other book I had seen a couple of different people talk about this lately, and it had been on my list, so I had an Amazon order to place, and I ordered Authentic Victorian Dressmaking Techniques. And it's an edited old sewing manual first published in 1905. So if you have any like old-fashioned patterns with no instructions and you're not sure like what your order of operations is, or that kind of thing, there's a whole sewing manual that tells you what to do. So I'm excited to read this. Oh, thanks. I'm glad to hear that, Alibaba. It's a great manual book. It seemed like it would be. Kilroy says, oh, I showed two books while you had stepped away for snacks.
Awesome.
This is the current novel I'm reading. And
you told me about that one.
Yeah. And then this is an edited reprint of a book from 1905.
Ooh.
So if you need to know how they put that thing together, this is the instructions on how to sew the thing. So I'm excited to read this one.
I have a bunch of technical manuals.
Alibaba says it's a great manual. So I'm glad I got I'm glad I got a good one.
We do not now, nor have we ever associated with the death. Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't give a disclaimer this evening. Be nice to each other and don't do mean stuff. And don't malign anything or anyone. I have a bunch of manuals from 1900 to 1905 that are about steam engines.
Ooh.
I have a bunch. And the 1905 one is in really good condition. It's like in here somewhere.
Oh, wow.
And it's detailed because they cared back then. It's detailed.
You should get in touch with Hand Tool Rescue. He might want copies of some of those.
I have quite a few. I'm going to open a museum one day. I have every Kodak ever made up until the digital camera era, from the first Kodak A. Wow. Or 1 or whatever the black box was. I told you I thought it was rare, and you can get one for like $5 right now on Amazon. So I
I've
can think.
been
Sorry.
I've been getting the new editions of Patterns of Fashion as they've been releasing them. Although I think I have two more I need to get. I've got like what is it? Um 1, 2, and 5 or something like that because they came out with the new one and then I bought the first two reprints that they did.
It's funny you'd say that, Joy. I literally was just watching the Boy George last night. I was watching. I don't can't remember what I think it was a thumbnail, and I was like, you know what? Boy George dressed better back then than people do now. Like, so I might make a Boy George hat. You're frozen.
What? Why?
Oh, you're backish, but now you
Am
have a good. Okay, you're backish, but you have a
I
good.
back-ish? Hmm.
It's just a bit of a lag. I'm
Okay.
gonna. Do you know next year for Christmas I'm gonna get you a signal booster? Sitting in this room, I have two, not one, but two signal boosters next to each other.
Well, but the thing is, though, I can be literally 4 feet from the router and have the same problem.
Do
So
you know
I
where
don't
you know where my
know.
router is? My router is behind it's behind that monitor up there. And I still
Mm,
get crummy reception in this room.
yeah. So it's on my list. I just have not had the wherewithal to call and fight the company or switch to a new company or it's just it's too much for me right now.
I get
So
it.
I'm gonna reload and see if that helps. It usually does for reasons I can't explain.
Turning it off and turning it back on usually works. Now I have gamma 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 chameleon stuck in my head. Thank you. Do you know what? Those songs remind me of the old MTV days. I think that's what it was. It just reminds me of when MTV was nothing but music videos.
That was a long time ago.
Back when it would literally be a commercial and then it would just cut to a video, not even introducing it. It would just be a
Mm-hmm.
video. I basically go between wanting to look like Boy George, Jamiroquai, Susie Sue, and David Bowie. Those are great people. But Jamiroquai grew up to be an angry human.
Mm.
Ollie is the one who put me on to that because I made a bunch of Jamiroquai hats and then Ollie was like, Google them. And I did. And Jamiroquai likes to fight people.
Yeah. He
you know,
said some unpleasant things when he got mad at a photographer, and I'm like, ooh, I'm not okay with that. I tried to find an apology video and I didn't find one. That kind of put me off just
Roger Rabbit had nice attire. I loved that movie. I genuinely loved that movie. But I was in that age group they were aiming for.
mm.
That was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit was my movie. I have it on VHS and DVD still. Do You Really Want to Hurt Me is Boy George's best singing song. I've sing it in karaoke a few times. Do you know what's really funny? When I stopped drinking alcohol, my singing career ended. Because I finally realized that it was the whiskey that made me think I could sing. And it's been 12 years and I can't sing.
I still think you're teachable.
Thank you for you're so positive.
It's true.
Then there is Tiny Tim, not so great. And do you know one of my most viewed tiny sewing machine videos? I made like a half an hour video and I put Tiny Tim as the thumbnail. And people were like, I thought this was a Tiny Tim video, but I stayed. I was like, heck yeah. It worked. It worked. I love that. I'm gonna do it again too. I'm gonna do it again. But Tiny Tim did dress like everybody. Do you know what's really funny? I want to buy a plaid suit so bad. And every time I'm with my son, and my son's like, really? Are you making good choices today? I'm like, no, I'm not making good choices. But I
What?
will have an art link letter or like just one of those obnoxiously plaid suits.
Why don't you start with some plaid pants? I think you could rock some plaid pants.
As long as they're not that weird cliche red plaid, I'll rock it.
So don't get red.
You literally said just stop hitting yourself.
I mean, you're making them. You can get whatever color you want.
It's true. Now I have Boy George just.
Alibaba said, I saw a girl that did the Jessica Rabbit outfit and makeup for her boyfriend. That would be fun.
There's a thing of style for everyone. I know that. That is true. I just couldn't do auto tune or anything. Like, there's a Chisme show I watched that's like a reality show, and they all like have. I want to know where they get the money for these cameras and where do they get studio time. Studio time is not cheap, but I guess someone would say that about me and my sewing machines. They would be like, "Where is he getting all those?" I guess if you have it, you have it. I'll stop questioning it.
But, you know, maybe they did their own studio.
I think they're all in it together in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like a series that goes around city to city, but they'll pop in the city and stuff. So I think they're like all weirdly connected. Plaid suits are so Don Cherry. I miss Coach. He got fired for telling Canadians to wear a poppy. He said it was un-Canadian if you didn't wear a poppy, and they fired him. But I grew up watching, like, I have Don Cherry instructional videos I would buy, like VHS videos and I'm pointing to them because I can go grab them right now. Coach wore some suits.
Did you have to wear plaid for school or something, Kilroy?
Don Cherry?
No, I'm asking if Kilroy had to wear plaid for school or something.
Oh, I'm doing that future thing where I can talk into my computer.
Oh, sorry. And then you have Don Cherry. Did you have to wear plaid? And I was like, wait, what?
Coach knew how to dress. He was one of those people where you're like, I remember saying, you know what, Canadians know how to dress because Coach knows how to dress. Let me show you. Coach was no joke. Look at Coach. Oh, you can't see it. Look at Don Cherry. Look how beautiful that suit is. Coach was look how pink that suit is. Coach was undefeated with his suits. And as the years went on, he had to try to top himself. So his suits got better with every show. But you know what? He kind of passed his time and he said some like antiquated things and he got fired. Oh, look at that Marley's. Look at that Marley's suit.
Some of them I liked. Some of them didn't quite hit the mark for me. But some of them were good.
Well, like the same thing happens with Daryl Evans. He is a commentator for the Kings. He is expected to wear an awesome suit every single night now. So he has some funky prints. They're not all winners. But he has a reputation for being one of the best dressed in America now because Don Cherry's not around. I hate autotune too. But like I still play instruments. I believe in having the art. And if you don't, then you're just like me and dreaming of your synth pop career in your garage. I'm quoting The Big Lebowski. I'm joking with the synth pop thing. I went through a huge plaid phase in my teen. My son is going through it right now. Do you know, I told him years ago, I said, one day you're going to love the fact that walk-in closet exists. He walked up to me. He's like, you know what? I love the fact that you have a walk-in closet because he's my size now and he can wear anything. I'm not that guy. There's nothing that I wear that he can't wear. If he wants to, like, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And because my mom no longer knows my size, she bought me this really fancy shirt for my birthday. I looked at it. I was like, here's your shirt, Isaiah. He's like, thank you. So now he has this brand new expensive shirt. He's gonna be wearing like a $90 shirt to school. Oh, it made me laugh.
Oh, look, I needed a soap dish, and my mom found me this little metal one. Isn't this nice?
Oh, I love stuff like that. That brings me back to the good old days.
She was worried that she said, I was looking at an onyx one that it had corners, and I thought that if it fell, it would break in the sink. So
it's heavy enough where it's not, has no natural predators. No, I know guys with just tech and they do good. He's not a musician though, I told him. He's a conductor. He plays no instrument. Absolutely. I have a ton of cast iron stuff. A ton. I have all the old fixtures from my grandmother's original house in Los Angeles. Well, not the house she lived in LA in the 40s and 50s, because when she moved, she took all the brass off the walls and I found it. The grates, she took everything.
Wow.
Oh, and I have all the stuff from my grandmother's other house as well. Because a lot of it, like the grates were cast iron.
Nice.
Not
I feel you, Alibaba. It reminds me of that scene in Four Weddings and a Funeral where she's trying to do the finger spelling so that she can chat up the guy who's deaf. And she has all of these like mistakes and stuff in her finger spelling, but he likes her. So he's just like, oh yeah, it's fine. And the subtitles show all the mistakes that she's making.
I dated someone who was a really good cook. And when I first met her, I made her rice and it was awful. A year later, I looked at her and I was like, you must have really liked me because you ate that rice. And she knew exactly. She's like, yeah, I do. She's like, it was awful, but I really liked you. And she fully admitted she just chewed it and smiled like it was crunchy. I was trying to impress her. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a kid. Gosh, that was like 20-something years ago. It's the funny things that you do to impress people, and they're already impressed. They like you. They're there for a reason, You're doing all this fancy stuff, and they like the normal you. I'm trying to think what else happened. I'm over people driving with their lights off. I'm over. I think it's because I've hidden in the house since 2020. I have not been out. Like when I go to work, no one's on the road. It's me, the cops, and the drunks. And the cops know my car, so they leave me alone. And when in Isaiah's world, like we conduct business during school hours, so no one's around. Like when we go to the Getty, like we're known because we're the first in line. We get there before the school tours and everything.
Oh, I haven't been to a museum in so long.
They're fun. They're like, you can no longer walk in for free. They're not like a donation. There's someone waiting like, hey, we need at least $5 from you.
Oh, see, I thought they went with like charging just based on the parking, which started at $5 and then went up to like $15. And...
yeah, it's cray. I bought season tickets, which was basically free everything.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
But like the Natural History Museum used to be free, but they started charging. But like Kilroy says, $5 is cheap. And they still have this giant shell. It made me laugh when my son walked up to it at the Natural History Museum because I remember when I walked up to it.
Oh.
Because it's so encompassing. It's bigger than you. And you're like, what crawled out of this?
Wow.
I just like that wonder in his eyes of like, oh man, what was living in this thing,
I remember when I saw a video that was talking about the size of different sea creatures, and they showed the anglerfish, which I thought was like, this big or something like that. That anglerfish would eat you. It could just swallow you whole. They're huge. I had no idea. The one that has the little like
Oh
fin
yeah.
off its head with the light on it to like fool the other fish.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the stuff of nightmare. Or like when they had the exhibit when birds ruled the world, I was like, this is kind of scary. Because they have scales. And when a bird is bigger than your truck, you know it's gonna hunt you. It's not the other way around. It's not like that Jameson commercial. There was a Jameson commercial where the Jameson guy, like this giant eagle was plaguing this town, and he drank a bunch of Jameson and conquered the eagle. In real life, that eagle would have made quick work with him.
Right.
That's what the donation for museums in my region charge.
Yeah, $5 isn't bad.
A grouper fish, yikes. Grouper. So there's a show called Bubble Guppies. And their teacher was called Mr. Grouper. And every time I'd watch it, I'm like, Mr. Grouper would eat you in real life, man. Like, have you ever seen a fully grown koi?
I mean, don't they just keep growing depending on space
They get
and
trout
food
size.
supply?
Yeah, they get trout size. It wasn't until I started going to San Francisco all the time did I see like real because old school and my reference is from 20 years ago, so take it with a grain of salt. But I went to Chinatown, and it was the only place in San Francisco where you could legitimately buy a like 5-foot koi, because you really can't do that around here, and people have them.
I've seen
Like,
pictures where they've said, don't flush your goldfish or don't throw your goldfish in our streams because they just keep growing. And they showed, this guy holding a goldfish that was like this big across.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. But are they natural predators? Are they like rabbits in Australia?
Well, I think part of it is, they're big and so they mess up with the food supply, and they probably eat the other fish. I mean, I don't think that they're bottom feeders, so
I've always wondered about that. Because our Chinatown, you can't necessarily go buy one, but in San Francisco, they're like every other store is selling them.
koi.
Yeah, do you think it's a zoning thing?
I don't know.
Our Chinatown in LA is not as big as San Francisco's that in any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
San Francisco's Chinatown goes on for blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks.
Wow. I know someone who moved to Koreatown, but I don't know if she spoke Korean or not. I think I would want to know the language if I moved to a neighborhood like that.
I lived in Koreatown and people were nice to me. Even the local Vons, half the stuff was in Korean. And like the donut shop, everything was in Korean. People were so nice to me. That neighborhood spoiled me because when I left LA, I refused to pay more than $1 for a ham and cheese croissant. Again, this was 20 years ago. And they would have that neighborhood was so good to me. Koreatown was so good to me. On Vermont and 3rd Street. Is it 3rd? Whichever one goes straight downtown. I have to look. I'm going to lose my LA card for not remembering the streets now. In America, you don't eat your pets, including fish. Koi is off limits like horses.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we like, it's a cultural thing though. Because people in other countries wouldn't eat our food. I love watching those videos when they give kids American candy and they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Or like when they give grown adults, or when people get introduced to flaming hot Cheetos, they're like, what is this abomination that cleared my sinuses? I love watching those videos. Oh, sorry. Whoops. I'd eat horse. I've been waiting to try cat and dog for ages.
Ugh.
I had a friend tell me a really cruel joke one time in a foreign country, and I stuck to burgers, and then he still makes fun of me for that. Ever since my dad told me he ate cat and dog when he was stationed in Korea, I heard same stories. Oh, I just
Alibaba says koi can get up to 400 pounds plus. That's
that's
amazing.
that is General Sherman size. A 400-pound koi, that is catfish. That's like an untouched catfish.
I saw a video. He was talking about some different the catfish, and there are some catfish that get really, really big, and they will eat you.
At a hatchery in Portland, I would always go up during spawning season. I lived near the base camp of Mount Hood, so it's not as artsy as it sounds. But during spawning season, they would like let all the fish, they'd hold them, but they had this giant tank, and they had a catfish in there. They didn't know the age of it. It was
Wow.
like 7 feet long.
Wow.
And they're like, this thing just lives here. We don't mess with it. And it just eats what it wants and we leave it alone.
Oh,
It was the largest catfish I've ever seen in captivity.
wow.
It was
That's
in a
scary.
giant, it was in a raised aquarium tank. So it was like floating above you. Oregon is actually really cool. If you're into outdoorsy stuff, like Oregon is an amazing place. I had to clear gravel pits of fish with the military here. The electrofish and get them all. Super sized fish come up, including goldfish. Oh wow.
Wow.
Some of the goldfish they got. That would be weird to me. And I, modern day times, I would stop to take a picture of everything. Ministry of Natural Resources, not military. Do you know where we're from? Those two are weirdly linked. No, because when there's a problem, who do we send? The National Guard. When there's a national disaster, who do we send? We send the National Guard. All right. Well, we've gone 3:15. I'm sniffling my way.
I started dragging an hour ago.
But before we go, I got this feeling that time's just holding me down. I hit the ceiling, or else I'll tear up this town. Tonight I gotta cut loose, foot loose. You guys are awesome. All the people who didn't click off, you're awesome. Kickoff is Sunday. I'll be back at it on Saturday. Hopefully I'm better. I want to thank everybody who sticks with me on these live streams. You guys are amazing. There are people who rewatch these all the way to the end. You are not forgotten. And I absolutely appreciate everybody. We're going to call it a success tonight. The Singer Simple works beautiful. I made this lovely hat.
Oh, I was trying to do confetti on honor of you. There we go.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Joy, as always, thank you so much for being here.
Joy.
Did you watch Kirby Allison? I will. I definitely will. 1, 2, 3 hours. You're out of the old so game. I'm working my way in. We did 3 tonight. I didn't go full Elvis, but I pulled my James Brown cape out a few times. I got my blue hat on.
I think that's a take me out of the ball game.
It's 1,
variation.
2. I'm whiny. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out at the old so game. Okay, I get it now. I'll be back at it on Saturday with my harrowing tales of sewing, thrift stores, my hero, Mr. Modelo, whining about traffic and everything in between. Until then, I absolutely thank you. it puts a smile on my face. So you guys are absolutely amazing. I'll be back at it on Saturday. Until then, like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time.